Atlantic Yellow Pages by Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies, featuring full-service evening and 7-day banking. By Texaco, clean system-free gasoline. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, for 57 years, the health insurance company you can lean on. We have a nice-looking night for a ball game here. We were under the threat of some rain, but then some high winds just blew it right on out of here, and the sky cleared. It's starting to get a little bit chillier, but that's fine. Looks like the ball game will be played without interruption, and a pretty nice crowd for an opening night here on the delayed 1995 start. The Wizard always does the flip when he takes the field. Let's see Ozzie, 40 years of age. Yes, sir. A double.
No problem for the Wizards.
What a great man. Okay, let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup tonight. Lenny Dykstra leads off in center. Mickey Morandini at second. Greg Jeffries in left. Dave Hollins at first. Aaron Dalton the catcher. Jim Eisenreich in right. Charlie Hayes the third baseman. Kevin Stocker the shortstop. And Kurt Schilling the pitcher.
Defensively for the Cardinals this evening, John Mabry is at first base in place of the injured Todd Zeile. Manny Lee opens at second place in the place of the injured Geronimo Pena. So the right side replacements for the Cardinals this evening. Ozzie Smith, as usual, the shortstop. Scott Cooper is at third base. Bernard Gilkey plays in left field with Ray Langford in center and Brian Jordan in right. Tom Pagnozzi will do the duties behind the plate, and on the mound, 6'2", 175-pound right-hander Ken Hill. Hill was acquired this spring from the Montreal Expos in that fire sale. The Cardinals didn't have to give up a whole lot to get him. Brian Eversgard, who was a reliever for them last year, and a couple minor league players, along with Danny Jackson. Hill was brought in here to shore up a very weak Cardinals starting rotation last year, and Cardinals looking for big things out of Kenny Hill this year. Throws a sinking fastball. He can run it in on the right-handers. He's got a hard slider, a split-finger fastball that he uses for his strikeout pitch. So he's got a good combination of pitches. Had a lot of success last year. 16-5 with the Montreal Expos.
Take a look at the umpires for tonight's game. We've got Dave Yeast at the plate, Bill Davis at first, Bob Homolka at second, and Fred Schaff at third base. Yeah, the Cardinals went out and got a couple of pitchers as Lenny Dykstra gets in the box. They got Danny Jackson that will pitch tomorrow, and of course they got the closer Tom Hankey. You got to look at what Dykstra did last year. He had a good spring, batting .368, and he lines one out toward Gilkey. We've been seeing Lenny do a little first pitch swinging lately. Normally he'll take a lot of pitches up there, and he hit that ball hard.
Well, Lenny is so well established in the league that he is going to take that first pitch. A lot of times he will just go ahead and swing right away, trying to establish a little something, to put a little fear in the pitcher's heart that he may be swinging, not just have that free strike to throw him early in the count.
Yeah, you got to mix it up. Otherwise, the pitcher will just groove one with not much on it down there. Here's Morandini. Mickey takes a called strike. Mickey had .292 for the Phillies last year with 2 homers and 26 RBIs. And this spring, a .235 batting average for Mickey, who's being counted on now as an everyday second baseman and an everyday 2-hole hitter. Both pretty responsible jobs. Skipper Jim Fregosi. Jimmy really looking forward to this year. He's a cautious man in his public utterances many times, but he's made no bones about the fact that he likes this ball club.
He really does, and especially the offensive side of this ball club. Top to bottom, solid all the way through the lineup. Phillies should put a lot of points on the board this summer. Should be an exciting baseball team to watch.
And he personally doesn't feel the pitching is as bad as most people think it is. Just because they don't have reputations. Jim's not a believer in that so much as he is a believer in the equipment that they have, and he thinks they have some good arms. Ball to third. Cooper scoops it up and makes the throw. Cooper had a bad arm in spring training. But he gets a play right out of the box, and this St. Louis native comes through.
Well, Cooper, as you mentioned, had some surgery last year in the offseason. One of the questions when he came back was the surgery successful? And he passed all the tests in spring training right there, able to get the ball across the infield. We want to watch a little bit tonight. John Mabry at first base. He's a converted outfielder. He basically is an outfielder. He's a good offensive player, and he's been moved into the Cardinal first base slot.
Yeah, he's a converted outfielder, all right. They converted him yesterday evening.
But he was 3 for 4 yesterday, so the conversion went well.
That's right. He played 3 innings in an exhibition game last night here, and Joe Torre said, he's hitting, he's my first baseman. That's all there is to it. Well, Jeffries got a pretty good hand when he was introduced. Greg takes a called strike. He hit .325 for these Cardinals last year with a dozen homers, and back-to-back great years here in St. Louis. His first year here in St. Louis, he hit .342. Right here in this ballpark last year, .343. Hill misses away. It's 3 balls and a strike. This is a good hitter's situation here. Bases empty and 2 out. Jeffries' lifetime against Hill, 9 for 28. That's a .321 batting average. Walked him. First base runner of the year for the Phillies is the ex-Cardinal, Greg Jeffries.
Philly fans that have not seen a whole lot of Jeffries, he fits really right into the same mold as most of the Philly hitters. He will take the base on balls if the pitcher doesn't give him something good to hit, and will take the base on balls, pass the responsibility on to the next hitter, which in this case is David Hollins.
David Hollins, according to many, poised for a great year, but Dave hit only .143 this spring. Hollins takes a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. Hollins has never had a whole lot of luck against Kenny Hill. He has 4 hits in 17 at bats. The Phillies have won 2 straight openers, and both on the road. Last year they won at Colorado. The year before that they won at Houston. Back safely is Jeffries, who last year stole a dozen bases for the Cardinals, and he probably could steal more than that. Hollins takes a breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dave. Phillies breaking out brand new uniforms tonight. There are no design changes from last year, but they are new threads. Hollins swings through a pitch, kind of swept at it that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dave.
Looks like the split finger from Hill. Yes, you can see the grip right there. The bottom just falls out of it, and a little bit off speed and tailed down and away from Hollins. Did not have a good pass at all at that pitch. Nazi telling Hill to throw over to first base, and he obliges.
I like that term, Teak. A good pass, huh?
That was not a good pass right there. See Pagnozzi giving Hill the sign to throw to first base. With the quick feed, Hill gets the ball over there in a hurry. Throw a little bit wide and a little bit high. Mabry has to make sure he gets the ball first before he can apply the tag, but that was a pretty quick move for Hill, who is not noted for having a real strong move.
Hollins just gets a piece of that. Count holds the ball in 2 strikes. Well, the Cardinals in Philadelphia this summer will be there twice within 9 days. One time for just a single game and then a weekend series. Dave Hollins really in great shape this year. Dave seemed to have lost some baby fat. He kind of hardened up over the winter. Oh, Pagnozzi was heading for the dugout. He thought they had it, and Ken Hill thought so too.
Dave Yeast says no, says his ball's just a shade low, right on the outside corner, just a little bit below the knees. Pagnozzi trying to buy one right there.
I think he was right. I think it was a little low. Jeffries safe. Hill in his return to St. Louis. Got a $4 million contract. His 9 career wins against the Phillies are his most against any team. There goes Jeffries. Pitches low. Pagnozzi, the ball has to be backhanded by Ozzie Smith, so Jeffries gets the first steal of the year. Pagnozzi had a good year throwing out runners last year. He caught 51% of them.
Greg Jeffries gets a great jump on this one, though. Pagnozzi gets a tough pitch to throw on down in the dirt. does the best that he can trying to get it down there, but wide into the left field side. Absolutely no chance for Ozzie to make any kind of spectacular play, even though he's made a bunch of them. See right there, the throw about 4 or 5 feet wide to the left field side. You're not going to get too many runners with that kind of throw.
No, Ozzie's focus was simply in catching the ball and making sure it didn't go through.
Keep it out of center field.
The count is full. Hollins gives it a ride to center field. Coasting back is Langford. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. For the Phillies, no runs, no hits, 1 man left on base. After a half inning, Phillies nothing, Cardinals coming up.
North American Bowhunter, the show that is produced by archers for archers and that is dedicated to the promotion of the sport of archery. Join host Dan Hendricks each week as he and his special guests explore the world of archery and bow hunting. Follow them into the field as they enjoy the out of doors and the wildlife in and around the upper Midwest. Watch for North American Bowhunter.
The Phillies open at home against the Pirates Friday, April 28th at 7:35. Kite Man delivers the first ball, and ticket prices are still reduced through May 21st. Big game, big savings. Call 463-1000.
Baseball enthusiasts here at Busch Stadium, and this is one of the greatest drawing franchises around. This ballpark is right downtown. You can see Teek's Hotel right over the top there. Is that your penthouse suite up there, Teek?
I'm a few floors lower than that.
Take a look at the Cardinals starting lineup tonight. Bernard Gilkey, followed by Ozzie Smith, Ray Langford, Scott Cooper, Brian Jordan, John Mabry, Tom Pagnozzi, Manny Lee, and pitcher Kenny Hill.
And for the Phillies, Dave Hollins is at first, Mickey Morandini at second, Kevin Stocker at short, Charlie Hayes at third. Greg Jeffries is in left with Lenny Dykstra in center, Jim Eisenreich in right, Darren Dalton behind the plate, and on the mound, 28-year-old right-hander Curt Schilling.
Schill making his 2nd consecutive opening day start. He got no decision last year at Mile High, and because of injuries, Curt Schilling's appearances last year were really limited. Batting for the Cards, Bernard Gilkey, and for about 24 hours this offseason, he was a free agent. But the Cardinals re-signed this St. Louis native. Had to take a hefty pay cut, though. How about that? Larry Rosen asked me before the game whether Hollins was taking to first base, and I said, so far so good. That was a nice play.
Was ball sharply hit. Gilkey a little bit behind on the Schilling fastball. Scoots it down the first base line, but Dave, in his normal style of playing the game very toughly, just runs his body over in front of him, makes sure he's able to knock the ball down, keep it in front of him, and makes the play unassisted.
And now in steps the Wizard. He's turned 40 years of age since his last ball game. And that's going to be yet another kind of a milestone for Ozzie, because he becomes the first everyday 40-year-old shortstop to start a full season since 1950. The last guy to do it was old Aches and Pains, Luke Appling, for the White Sox that year. Ball and a strike on Ozzie. Hit 269 in spring training. We showed you his backflip that he always does on big occasions. There was a day when Ozzie would backflip going out there for every game, but now he got to pace himself. You know,
he got to make a couple concessions to age.
Yeah, if that's the only one you have to make, it's pretty good.
Not too bad.
No. Fouls it off, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ozzie Smith.
Now, I was going to say, Ozzie, not the player that he was in the past. You know, obviously the arm is a little shorter, the range is a little shorter, but he's been able over the last couple of years to make the adjustments to be able to compensate for those, and just shows not only what a great player he is, but the intelligence level that he has.
Well, you know, it's actually been a long time since he's had a good arm. I mean, he lost out a long time ago because of an injury that he had, but he's learned how to compensate. I don't think I've ever seen a guy get rid of a ball any quicker than the Wizard.
Gets rid of it quickly, and he gets himself in position to throw it before he catches it.
3-2. Ground ball to Morandini. Mickey throws out Ozzie Smith, and there are 2 down. Phillies and the Cardinals have a day game here tomorrow. We hope you'll join us. It'll be an early start, 1:30. And the pregame show at 1 right here on Sports Channel tomorrow. Ray Lankford with the bases empty and 2 out. Lankford in spring training hit .227. Lankford started last year with a home run. Remember, he was the leadoff hitter in that Cardinal-Cincinnati Sunday night game that ESPN televised, and as the leadoff hitter, he hit a home run. No balls and 2 strikes on Lankford. Puts it in play, but it goes foul. Down there at first base, it was gloved by old friend Jose Cardinal. You know, they brought all the players in tonight. There's Jose. All the players came in cars, automobiles here this evening, and that was quite an impressive arrival for all of them.
1 red one, 1 white one. Mm-hmm. 1 red one, 1 white one.
Perfectly spaced. It's high, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Lankford, who wants to avoid injuries this year. Struck out a lot last year. He struck out 113 times, but he batted .366 when he put the ball in play. Now that's really saying something. Puts it in play here, but he'll be batting .000 after that one. Morandini with another play, and down go the Cardinals. At the end of 1 tonight, it's 0-0.
Try to keep things clean.
Why?
Because I said so.
When you fill up with Mobil Super Plus detergent gasoline,
Don't bounce
you
the
put
ball
years
off
of detergent
the
know-how into your engine.
Wash the windows. Keep your fingers off the glass. This thing looks worse than your room does.
So we can help you clean the inside of your engine as you drive and keep vital parts free from dirt and deposits. Of course, keeping the inside of your car clean, well, we'll have to leave that up to you. Mobil, how can we help you?
Dear car owners, when your suspension's going, you can feel it in your bones. Your car shakes, rattles, and rolls. The suspension experts at Midas can help with Shake, Rattle, and Roll Control. You get 25% off your car's alignment or 50% off your second shocker strut or both. It's a deal that'll make things go a whole lot smoother for you. So hurry in today for 25% off alignment or 50% off your second shocker strut or both. That's the Midas way, the way it should be.
The Montreal Expos come to town Tuesday, May 9th and Wednesday, May 10th at 7:35. And then again Thursday, May 11th at 1:05 for a Mellon PSFS Business Person Special. A May afternoon at the ballpark is always a special treat. So come on out. And remember, you save $5 on box seats and $3 on 600 level reserve seats. Call 463-1000.
It's the first of 5 midweek baseball games at the Vet this year. Thursday, May 11th, the 1:05 game. Phillies and the Montreal Expos. And don't forget, all ticket prices are reduced for home games through May 21st. $5 off box and $3 off 600 level reserve seats. Order your tickets easily by phone. Call 463-1000 or stop by the Mellon PSFS ticket office at Broad and Chestnut Streets. Scoreless heading for the second, and Darren Dalton leads it off for the Phillies. Dutch batted .300 for the Phillies last year, and now with Oral Hershiser moving on, Darren Dalton has been with the same club longer than any other National League player. Hershiser this year is pitching for the Cleveland Indians. Great spring for Dutch. He hit .333.
I was thinking Hershiser not only changed teams, he changed leagues, which is, you know, after a long time, that's going to be a whole new experience for him, being in the American League, all new ballparks, new cities.
You know, I read somewhere where he told somebody that the reason that he accepted the Indians offer over a few others was that he wanted to learn the American League, so when he starts broadcasting, he'll know both leagues. You believe that?
Plan ahead.
It's up high, a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Dalton had a little more arthroscopic knee surgery in the offseason, but he's okay now. Remember, he fractured his right clavicle on June 28th last year, so his season really ended early.
I was thinking the other day, 3-week spring training, which is a problem in itself, but actually the off season was an actual 3 months longer if you count the 6 weeks at the end of the season that you missed, plus the 6-week spring training was pushed back. So, and Darren gets another month on top of that.
Just out of Hill's reach, backhanded at second and safe at first. Aaron Dalton legs it out. I'm not sure Manny Lee was going to get him anyway, but when he couldn't get it out of the glove, it was sure to be a hit, the first of the year.
Yeah, Lee's playing Dalton way over in the hole between first and second, has to go a long way to get to this ball, and then once he is not able to get it out of the glove in double clutches, I think as far as Dutch beat that across the bag, I don't think it would have mattered. I think you're right.
Well, maybe it's going to be a strange year. When a catcher gets an infield hit for the first hit of the year, anything can happen.
Yeah, but Darren Dalton's not your normal catcher. All those knee surgeries and everything else, he still moves down the line very well.
Yeah. Jim Eisenreich gets in. Eisy had a great spring. He had 5 doubles to tie for the lead among all National League players in spring training. Led the Phillies with 12 hits, batted .400 this spring, and you can see what he did last year. He and Dalton each hit .300 right on the nose last year. The Cardinal infield shortens here and looks for a double play. In the air to left, Gilkey shallow, but has to go back, and he didn't get a very quick start on that ball. I think that fooled Gilkey because he started in.
Yeah, he broke in a couple steps as soon as that ball was in the air. Unfortunately for Gilkey, the ball was high in the air. Had time with his good speed to go back and get it, but he did not read that ball well off the bat at all. Here we see he's in reverse gear now. He was playing shallow to start with, and then when you take a couple more steps in, that gives you a long way to go to get to that warning track here in Busch Stadium.
Charlie Hayes, 288 for the Rockies last year with 10 homers and 50 RBIs. When you need Charlie Hayes to go out and play a game for you, he will be there. This man has never been on the disabled list. Never. And tonight is his 801st game. Look out, Cal. He's coming.
Just a little bit behind it.
Actually, he does not have a consecutive game streak. I'm just funning, but he has played 801 games without getting hurt. 2-0 on Charlie. Struggled a bit in spring training, probably tried to do too much joining a new club. He hit only 152. Ken Hill faced the Phillies just once last year. He did win the ball game, but he struggled a bit.
He did. In 7 innings, gave up 4 runs. Did not pitch all that well against the Phillies, but as you mentioned, Montreal Expos had a good night offensively that night, got him off the hook. So ended up with a 1-0 record against the Phillies in '94.
He came out of spring training with funny numbers. He was 0-2, but his ERA was 2.45. Maybe that points up the story of this Cardinal team. They're going to have trouble scoring runs.
They really did not hit the ball well at all in spring training.
Charlie plays it to third. Cooper goes down to second. They get one there. Safe at first, and the ball gets through. But running straight down the line was Hayes, so he'll remain at first. Second out of the inning. Fielder's choice.
And just an indicator right there. Just mark it down and keep it in your mind for later. Mabry, that throw was a little bit short at first base. See right here, Cooper gets the double play started. Everything's going fine this far. A little bit of a cheat by Manny Lee at second base. Not bad. This is not a tough throw at first base, and Mabry did not get a glove on it. So later on in the game, kind of had his feet crossed. Pay attention to that, because that may come back to haunt the Cardinals. And Philly base runners should always be alert that, not everything at first base is going to be routine.
Not like Joe Torre doesn't have other people that could play the spot as Kevin Stocker steps in. Ball 1 to Kevin, who had a great spring, hitting .321 and led the team with 8 walks. Gerald Perry can play first. They got a young man named Scott Heeman who can play about anywhere. And of course,
Darnell Coles has also played some first base in his career. In fact, the thought was originally that Coles was going to be the one to play first base. And then Joe Torre, after Mabry had the day that he had yesterday, decided to make the switch. Didn't really want to use Perry at first base because that's his top pinch hitter, and he really wants to keep him on the bench if at all possible, so that he can insert him later in the ball game and, in a key spot. You don't like to put that one really top-notch bat that you have on your bench in the lineup if you can help it.
Stocker watches one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Darryl Perry, who initially, when he first came to the league with the Braves, was known as the Claw because he was not a very good fielder. But he has become a terrific pinch hitter, as you mentioned. Grounded to third. Cooper with another play. Down the lead for a force out to end the inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base. It's 0-0.
Every score, every deal, every headline changes the world of sports. Sports Channel keeps you up to date with complete sports coverage from News Sport. Start your morning with News Sport Press Box, the first and last word on the day in sports. Move into the afternoon with News Sport Journal, the news show that brings you the other side of sports. And get ready for the evening sporting events with News Sport Tonight, the show that sets the stage for the national sports scene. News Sport Press Box, News Sport Journal, News Sport Tonight. 3 great reasons to make Sports Channel your source for sports.
North American Bowhunter, the show that is produced by archers for archers and that is dedicated to the promotion of the sport of archery. Join host Dan Hendricks each week as he and his special guests explore the world of archery and bow hunting. Follow them into the field as they enjoy the out of doors and the wildlife in and around the upper Midwest. Watch for North American Bowhunter.
Lou Gehrig was known as the Iron Man of baseball, and his fans thought he was indestructible. Until a fatal neuromuscular disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, prematurely ended his career and his life. Help win the one Lou couldn't. Call the ALS Association.
Phillies home opener just 2 nights away now. On Friday at 7:35, the Phillies meet the Buccos at Veterans Stadium. Baseball is back for the 25th opening day at the Vet. And we'll remember the first opening day on Fanavision through the park. Kite Man 4 delivers the first ball. All fans receive a colorful schedule poster featuring Phillies players. So make your plans to come out Friday night. 463-1000 is the number, and all ticket prices are reduced through May 21st. Andy Musser with Kent DeCulvey. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It's a scoreless game. And here is Scott Cooper, who hit a home run here in an exhibition game last night. And that was a real thrill for him. He's a graduate of Pattonville High School in St. Charles, where he still makes his home. That's not too far from here. Cooper over in trade from the Red Sox. He's 27 years of age. Bouncing foul. Acquired from the Red Sox in a trade that sent Mark Whitten and Real Cormier to Boston. Held down a little in spring training by some arm injuries, but he has a strong arm when healthy.
Yeah, we mentioned he had the shoulder surgery last winter, and I think he came back just a little bit too soon, trying to do a little too much early in camp. Did a lot of throwing, and the arm tightened up on him a little bit, so he had to back off the program a little bit, give his arm a chance to recover, and is just about over the hump now. Still a little bit of stiffness and weakness in that shoulder, but not anywhere near the problems that he had before.
Schilling strikes him out. Kurt gets his first strikeout of the ball game as he retires Scott Cooper. Talking about injuries, here's that strikeout, Teek.
There's that split finger again, just like you saw from Hill when that ball goes up there and dives down in the dirt. Very difficult to handle, especially low in the strike zone. Cooper goes out of the zone trying to hit that one and comes up empty.
Brian Jordan to get in now. Jordan batted .258 for St. Louis last year. In spring training, He led the Cardinals with 10 hits, including 4 doubles. Right down the middle for a strike. Schilling in spring training complained of a problem with his elbow, but it turned out to be tricep tendonitis, and that sure is a heck of a lot better than having a problem with your elbow.
Yeah, if you're going to have problems, you don't want them to be in the joints, either the shoulder or the elbow. Tricep much easier to take care of.
I think while baseball was gone here at Busch Stadium, some birds decided to make their home up here in the booth, and we've got a couple of pigeons that are living up here now. And one of them's right over your shoulder, Teak, so stand by.
There might be those who say there's a couple pigeons sitting here right behind the mics.
Well, there might be, but 1-2.
Jordan last year in a real tough situation. If you remember when the season started, Cardinals had that 4-man rotation in the outfield. Wasn't on an everyday basis. This year I think he's going to benefit a lot from knowing that, when he comes to the ballpark every day, he's going to be in the lineup.
In the dirt, 2-2 on him. Well, he's an excellent athlete. Of course, he was a professional football player, as you know. Defensive back, National Football League. Jordan, 28 years of age, born in Baltimore. Schilling's 2-2 to Jordan. Got a piece. Cardinals start with 2 players on the disabled list. Todd Zeile has an inflamed tendon in his left wrist. Joe Torre said before the ball game he thinks that Zeile will be okay before too long, but he thinks he did it just trying to get ready too quickly. He said it didn't happen in a ball game. It happened just working out. Curt Schilling with another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Curt.
And again, the ball down in the strike zone, sinking hard. Jordan swings over the top of it. Good pitch, good location for Curt. So first 5 hitters that Curt has seen, he sent all 5 of them down in order.
And John Mabry, young man out of the Cardinal farm system, gets a chance to play against the Phillies for the first time. He's only 24 years old. Mabry was playing at AAA ball until they called him up Monday. The other player who starts the year on the DL for St. Louis is infielder Tim Hewlett, who has a right rotator cuff injury. The Cardinals have 12 new players on their team. 10 of them are ex-American leaguers. We got some work to do, Teakwood.
And that's difficult early in the season for the Phillies because you don't have a real good idea about these guys. You've got scouting reports, but you're always more comfortable when you have played against somebody and you've had personal experience on how to, especially the pitcher-hitter confrontation. I know when I was playing, I didn't like to see the guys from the American League the first couple times, even though I had a scouting report that would tell me, what this guy did or didn't like to do. I much rather know firsthand from having pitched to him a couple times.
Yeah, that makes sense. Put in play back up the middle, and John Mabry gets the Cardinals' first hit of the ball game. Just skip back up the middle for a base hit.
Again, the ball down in the strike zone. Mabry does a nice job of going down and getting it. Hits it right back past Schilling up the middle. Well, we heard he was a good hitter, and that's a pretty good stroke he put on the ball right there. Lenny making sure that nothing gets by him out there in center field, goes down to a knee.
Mabry takes his lead. Now we know why he's in the ball game tonight. Joe Torre showing a little confidence in the young man. Tom Pagnozzi is at the plate. Tom won his 3rd straight Gold Glove last year. Dalton tried to pull that one in but couldn't do it. Look at his numbers from last year, and even better this spring, 304 for Pags.
And this is a guy that's basically been known as a defensive player most of his career. Very strong defensive player, has a couple Gold Gloves on his shelf.
Ball driven to left field, but Jeffries is there. Makes the play. For the Cardinals, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left at the end of 2, 0-0. Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Wise. genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Same book, new name. 9 out of 10 use it. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Real fine, genuine, more choices, gold mine. Yellow Pages from Bell Atlantic. Same book, new name.
Want to make a Consumer's Digest Best Buy an even better buy? Well, right now, we're offering $1,000 cash back on every Dodge Caravan. Not just some, every one. Add in up to $1,100 in package value discounts, and you can take up to $2,100 off America's best-selling minivan. Or choose 4.9 financing instead. So hurry to the Dodge National Best Buy sale. Right now, current Chrysler Corporation minivan owners get an additional $500 cash back.
All fans 14 and under receive a handsome equipment bag free when the Phillies play the Pirates Sunday, April 30th at 1:35. Remember, you save on all tickets, all seats. Big savings, neat free bag. Call 463-1000.
The Phillies Cardinals game, a day game, will be on Sports Channel again tomorrow from here at Busch Stadium. And again next Wednesday, May 3rd, Teak and I will be on from Teak's hometown, Cincinnati, Ohio. So we hope you'll join us for the Phillies on Sports Channel all season long. Here's Curt Schilling. We haven't seen a pitcher bat in a long time the way things worked out in this shortened spring training. Schill batting 107 for the Phillies last year and 147 lifetime. He has 25 big league hits.
Now, isn't this normally where the free substitute hitter is supposed to hit?
What's that? Never heard about it. What is that?
A rule that was implemented this spring.
No, we're going back to the purity of the National League.
The real baseball.
Very real.
Well, I have a chance right here. I'd like to pass along some get well wishes. First of all, to a former Dreamweaker, Frank Scooter Doherty, who is recovering at the University of Pennsylvania Hospital, and also Dutch Connolly from Horsham, who is at home recovering. We want to wish both of them speedy recoveries.
Kenny Hill working on Curt Schilling. Teak, does it always feel like a bonus when you start the inning with a pitcher?
Oh, sure, because, you know, if you can go ahead and you have to make sure that you concentrate and bear down, but you get the job done, it's really in effect a 2-out inning.
Tough play for Lee. Base hit. Schilling is aboard. He's got himself an infield single. Hey, Manny Lee has had 2 tough tries at second base, hasn't he?
He's had 2 balls going to his backhand. Hasn't played either one of them extremely well. The first one not able to get it out of his glove. This time has to go hard again. Gets the ball in his hand. Still doesn't get a good grip on it. Makes a late throw to first base.
He ran about 6 feet before he even tried to throw it. There's Geronimo Pena.
Yeah, there's the guy that would make that play very routinely. Also on that play again, the ball gets by Mabry. You know, now that's just a lack of experience at first base on Mabry's part. You should know that if the ball, you know, if the play is going to be beaten anyway, just get off the bag and retrieve the ball. He's still trying to make a big long stretch. So the first base instincts not real natural for Mabry.
Now Dykstra lined out on the first pitch of the ball game, hitting it to left field, hitting it solidly. 1 strike on Lenny. Well, the Phillies have 2 hits in the game, and they have both been infield singles by the battery, Dalton and Schilling. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, we're talking about the 2-out inning with the pitcher leading off.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a great inning if you get the pitcher out, but the problem is if you don't get him out, as is the case right here, now you've got the pitcher on base and the top of the order coming up. You're setting yourself up for a potential big inning. So very important when you have the pitcher leading off to get him out. Hill not able to get that done.
Lenny chipped his bat. The ball is fouled down into the Phillies bullpen, but look what's left of that stick. Not much. That's a souvenir.
Yeah, the barrel, half of the barrel still on the bat. The other half of the barrel's in the middle of the infield.
Tagnazzi goes out to get it.
Yeah.
That's literally firewood, isn't it?
Yeah, split that baby right in half. I would check with the bat company on that one. That wasn't put together real solidly. Must have been a bad tree they cut down.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I hope Lenny has a bat now from a different forest this time. No runs in this game. Phillies and the Cardinals just kind of feeling each other out so far here. Of course, you know, the first time around, you set your rotation up so that everybody's best is facing everybody else's best. And yet, in spite of that, we had some high-scoring games around the league today. Lenny bailed in a hurry. That ball was right at his legs. 2-2.
Yeah, Lenny, who likes to stand up on top of the plate anyway. This pitch by Hill, well down and inside. Lenny does a nice job of just skipping and getting the ankles out of the way. Not much petting on that ankle bone. You take one of those baseballs on it, it stings. So Lenny decides to get the puppies out of the way. Didn't want to take one for the team just in that situation right there.
Lenny watches one go by low. Now Teak. It's a full count. Do you want to start Schilling here?
I doubt it.
Because?
I don't think you want to run your pitcher around.
Don't want to, have him waste the extra energy, you mean?
Yeah, because with Lenny too, he could foul off about 4 or 5, and you could spend the whole night running around the infield. You're worried about your starting pitchers and how long they're going to be able to last in the first place.
He's holding, and it's ball 4. Not to worry. So the first 2 Phillies are aboard. Second walk allowed by Kenny Hill.
Hill compounds the problem now of the infield hit by Schilling by turning around and walking Dykstra. Now the Phillies with a runner in scoring position and getting toward that middle part of the lineup, which is really where you want to be. Morandini keeps this thing alive and gets himself on base. Then you're into that Jeffries, Hollins, Dalton, Eisenreich part of the lineup, the big RBI guys.
Any reason to look for a bunt here?
It's a possibility early in the game. Would not put it past Jim Fregosi.
Mickey grounded out to third, first time up. Ball gets through the catcher, Pagnazzi.
Don't have to bunt now, did
No, sir. So down to second goes Dykstra. Schilling is at third base. And this scoreless ball game is looking like something's going to change.
For the second time in the inning, Hill, on a left-handed hitter, throws the ball down low and on the inside part of the plate, misses wide. Pagnazzi tries to go to the backhand to get it. It's not able to come up with it. So the bunt is now a moot point. Kenny Hill has done the bunting for the Phillies, moved the runners into scoring position. Dykstra at second, Schilling at third, and now he is in a peck of trouble.
Scored as a wild pitch. Low.
The hole's getting deeper.
Yep, 2-0. It's amazing they don't have a ball out of the infield, of course. It's an infield hit and a walk and a wild pitch. Now the Phillies need a base hit to make all of this count. Morandini grounds on the right side. That's a fair ball. 2 runs are going to score. That ball was just fair. Morandini to second with a 2-run double, and the Phillies lead it 2-0.
Hill falls behind in the count, gets down 2 balls and no strikes. Has been struggling with his control just a little bit after walking Dykstra. Throws one down and right in the middle of the plate. Morandini, who doesn't pull the ball hard that often, gets the bat out in front and gets it by Mabry at first base down into the right field corner. So the Phillies got something really good going on.
Here's Jeffries coming to the plate now, so we show you that catch that he made to end last inning. We mentioned with Larry Rosen on the pregame show tonight that he's been making all the plays in left field, although he will put the thrill in a couple of them now and then.
They're not always routine, but he's been getting the job done.
Takes a strike. He walked and stole a base first time around. It's 2-0 Phillies. We're in the top of the third at Busch Stadium in St. Louis on a great night for baseball here. Two runs on 3 hits for the Phils. The Cards with just 1 hit so far off Curt Schilling. There's Schill. He circled the bases on an infield hit and moved up base by base. Up and down the Phillies lineup. They have guys with good eyes.
Over the last couple of years, the Phillies have shown the ability to take the walk. And will take it and pass it on to the next guy. Of course, Lenny is the best at it. I mean, he will take a pitcher and foul pitches off and work to get himself on base. But most of the Philly hitters will take the walk and allow the next guy to drive in the run and pass the responsibility on to your teammate. And that only happens if you have a club where the players really trust each other and trust the next guy to get the job done.
The Cardinal pitching coach Mark Riggins is visiting the mound right now to see if Kenny Hill's okay, and to offer him a little advice. The Cardinals have a strange situation with their pitchers. Riggins is the official pitching coach, but then you've got a bullpen coach of some renown, Mr. Bob Gibson.
Yes, it's just a couple wins, didn't he? Won a couple ball games.
Look at Gibby. That's a strange place for the bullpen coach to sit, but I guess here in St. Louis they do that because the bullpen is actually just a little bench down the right field line.
You mentioned Schilling taking the trip around the bases, and it really was not that difficult a trip. Yes, he ran hard to first base on the infield hit, got to walk the second base on Dykstra's walk, kind of cruised over to third base on the wild pitch, and then of course the base hit, the double by Morandini, just trots across the plate. So it wasn't a tough trip at all around the bases for Schilling.
And we're seeing Jeffries in his first RBI opportunity for the Phillies. It's a 2-2 count on Gray. Back hit hard off the glove of Manny Lee, and everybody is safe, and Lee winds up flat on the ground, and here comes Morandini. He scores. It's 3-0 Phillies.
And Lee's injured.
He must have had a spike catching the turf or something.
Yeah, he's had 3 plays to the backhand now, has not made any of them. This time got to the ball, and as it dribbled away from him, he tried to make a move to get to it, and it appears as if he either turned an ankle or something. He has the rubber turf shoes on, you can see. Gets another error on that ball right there. I guess his first error of the night, but he has the rubber turf shoes on. It appeared as if his foot just kind of hung as he leaned over to try to reach and pick up that ball. It rolled away from him. Ozzie Smith was not in the area. He was kind of moving toward the second base bag. Morandini moves over to third base, and then when he sees the ball move away, he alertly just goes ahead and moves on into home plate before Ozzie can get the ball back in. You see right here, Jeffries hits the ball hard up the middle. Now the problem's not here. It's right there when he jams his foot into the ground and tries to.
He may have hit the ball. I mean, he may have stepped on the ball. You see
something
that?
went wild. No, ball's out in front of him. Right there, it turns the ankle. Trying to go after the ball. Or maybe it was that. There it is. There's the last step. Planted the foot, and then as he went down to reach and get the ball, the ankle rolls over.
However, he's going to stay in the ball game.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, that did not look good.
He's a glutton for punishment.
What kind of ankle turned over?
What kind of play is he going to get next? Well, there was no hit. They ruled that he should have made the play altogether.
Which is kind of difficult. That's saying that he's going to throw Jeffries out at first base from there.
Yeah.
Kind of tough scoring.
I was kind of looking for a hit and an error.
He hasn't thrown anybody out from first base on that play all night. But right now we'll score error on Manny Lee. Jeffries on first base, but the most important thing, the Phillies with the 3 spot on the board and still nobody out.
Dave Hollins takes a pitch high. Hollins in his first at bat flied out to center field.
And this whole inning started with the inability of Hill to retire the opposing pitcher.
With a little help there again by Manny Lee.
I think I keep hitting the ball to his backhand for a while.
Why not? Well, they say hit the ball up the middle anyway, and tonight that's really true. Just try to keep it more toward Lee than to Ozzie. Hollins takes a strike, 1-1.
Now Ozzie catches it pretty good,
doesn't he? By the way, the regular second baseman Geronimo Pena, he's out with a hamstring pull, which he suffered Monday, and he's listed as day-to-day. He probably won't play tomorrow, but they're not saying definitely that he won't.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is it could go upwards of 7 days. It could be almost a week before Pena's ready to get back and play on an everyday basis. He will be the Cardinals' second baseman. And yet he's a day-in, day-out basis.
This is far from his first injury, too, because he has never had more than 254 at-bats in any year. In the air, deep to the opposite field. It's a 2-run home run for Hollins the opposite way. Kenny Hill can't believe it, but it's 5-0 Phillies. Is that strong or what?
Whoa! That ball was basically by Dave Hollins. He just reached up and away, and with that tremendous strength, he talked about how strong he is and what great shape he was in when he came into spring training this year with that great strength. able to just put the bat on the ball and muscle it out to left field. Watch right here. This pitch is almost by him, up and away, just stays with it and drives the ball hard to left field. Yeah, we don't see Dave. Still nobody out here in the third inning. Gilkey goes all the way to the corner. He can't believe it's going that far, and then all of a sudden he looks up, whoop, right through the opening.
One strike, the count on Darren Dalton on his ground foul. Pitches high, a ball. Jeff Parrott, ex-Phil, who made this Cardinal team as a strike. Dave Hollins with congratulations for a shot opposite field home run, 5-0 Phillies. Dalton chases a pitch there. 1-2.
Kenny Hill goes through the first 2 innings rather easily. The only base hit that he gives up, the infield variety, to Dalton the first time around, and the ball that Lee couldn't get out of his glove. Then all of a sudden in the third inning, can't get anybody out. Starts off with a hit by Schilling.
Dalton hits it hard. That's a foul ball. From our vantage point, it looked like that landed on or certainly near the line, but the first base umpire, Bill Davis, had it foul right away. And no complaint from the Phillies. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Dalton. It's not the first time Major League Baseball has opened with replacement umpires. Take a look at this one again.
Just foul. Bill Davis in perfect position to make the call. Most important thing, first of all, is make sure you get out of the way of that vicious line drive.
This ball stays fair. Here's a play for Lee. Finally got an easy one. Bronx cheer for Manny Lee. It's tough because he's playing his first game in a Cardinal uniform, and he's limping around doing it. Jeff Parrott up for the Cardinals. In steps Jim Eisenreich, who flied out to left field. Only at bat for Jim. Hard hit, but there's a play for the Wizard. And Ozzy's up to his old tricks. Two outs. Charlie Hayes gets a chance to hit. Charlie hit a fielder's choice ground ball first time up. This is the 3rd straight year the Phillies have opened the season on the road. It's high. 2 balls and no strikes on Charlie. 5 on the board for the Phillies, including a costly error on the part of the Cardinals. So one of the runs is not earned. Ball 3, 3-0.
Talked at the beginning of the game about Ken Hill and the sinking fastball that he throws. Well, sinking fastballs are no good when they're chest high.
Charlie had a green light. You know, we saw Jim Fregosi do that all spring, but gonna do it here too when you got a 5-0 lead. Why not? And Joe Torre's not liking the way things are going here.
No, when you got a guy on the ropes, why not turn him loose? Things not going well for Ken Hill right now. Turn the batters loose.
High ball 4. It's the 3rd walk issued by Hill, and the Phillies have batted around. Stocker coming up. He'll be the 9th hitter of the inning, and Torre showing patience with his #1 starter.
Well, part of the equation, early in the season is, obviously you're trying to win ball games, but you are also, with your starting pitchers in particular, still trying to get them in shape. So managers are going to have to manage kind of, two different ways. Yes, I want to win this ball game, but I also have to continue to condition my starting pitchers. If Kenny Hill comes out now, having only pitched 3 innings, that's not a whole lot going into his next start.
Stocker grounds a foul, strike 1. Gibby, and he is in the bullpen.
Well, there's action down there now. There's also action in the sky. We talked about those clouds that blew out of here. Well, some new batch blew in.
They blew back again. It's a backup cloud, Teak. You know about that. Like a backup slider.
I know about those.
Stocker misses a pitch. This is not official yet, but we're not expecting any evening-long rain here, I hope. Terrible to see this rally wiped off the books. We are in the 3rd inning.
Just a passing shower.
Yes. A dust settler. I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny Hill is facing his last batter. If he doesn't get Stocker, Schilling, who led him off with the hits, coming up, and I wonder whether Torrey will let him pitch to him a second time in the inning.
Well, what complicates the matter too is that Hill's spot in the lineup comes up second next inning for the Cardinals. So Joe Torre, I think, would like to see him get out of this. Even if he's going to remove him from the ball game, would like to see him get out of this inning so he doesn't have to put Parrott in and then pinch hit right away for Parrott, using up an extra pitcher.
Although you do have 13 right now. Well, it's academic. Matthew Lee had a little trouble getting that out of his glove, too, it looked like. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Phillies get 5 runs, 3 hits, a very costly error, 1 man left on base. Phillies lead 5-0.
For a better variety of movies, you need Prism. Every month, Prism brings you Oscar-winning epics, side-splitting comedies, critically acclaimed dramas, explosive action, box office blockbusters, heartwarming romance, and the best lineup of Hollywood's brightest stars. It's movies worth watching, movies you want to see, the way movies were meant to be seen. For a better variety of movies, call your cable company and order Prism today.
While the healthcare debate continues, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield have the answers now. Like individual personal choice, you get HMO economy with the freedom of traditional coverage. Personal choice lets you choose from over 7,000 doctor's offices and 68 of the area's finest hospitals. There's no need to sign up with just one doctor, and you don't need permission to see a specialist. So come on, lean on us. Call 1-800-ASK-BLUE for individual personal choice, the flexible, affordable health plan you can lean on.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium were formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving, to give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you in part by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you. And by Bell Atlantic Mobile. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile. So the Phillies put up 5. The rain is falling only lightly here at Busch Stadium. A lot of fans didn't even bother to put up an umbrella or even bring one for that matter. And a nice rally for the Phillies. One of those runs not earned, but the other 4 are. And the Phillies now go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Leading it off for St. Louis will be Manny Lee. And Parrott sat down in the bullpen, so it looks like Kenny Hill's going to stay in the ball game, even though he trails 5-0. Probably makes sense, Teak. You know, you're working on a whole lot of different levels here, and talking about your ace of your staff. You don't want to take him out after 3 innings.
Now, managers, especially with the short spring training, are going to be under a little bit more pressure because they're going to have to make some decisions like this early in the season.
Now, Teague, I know you've often talked about what an important inning this is now for your pitcher. When you give him 5, then he's got to go back out and mow him down, doesn't he?
Yeah, you want to go out and establish right away that yes, Courage has had 2 good innings to start with, that you're still in control. The pitching wise, the defense, everybody bear down, get these guys out in a hurry, get yourself back in the dugout and keep the momentum on, for your own club. And also, you don't want to give Kenny Hill a whole lot of time to recover. He threw a lot of pitches that inning. Let's get him back out on the mound while he's worn down and still struggling.
That's in for a strike. It's raining a little bit harder. It always looks a little exaggerated on television, but it has picked up in intensity here. And the replacement umpires might have a decision to make here soon. Base hit. Manny Lee, who's had all kinds of problems in the field, nevertheless gets the Cardinals' second hit. And Kenny Hill will be up to Bunny Malone.
The other thing you have to throw into this equation also is now Schilling knows he's got a 5-run lead. He knows he's got to get through the 5th inning to qualify for a start, and you also know that it's raining. You have a tendency when it rains to try to hurry up and get the outs. You have to try to stay in that same mode. Just stay in your same rhythm. Things have been going well. Stay within yourself. Get your job done.
The bunt is down. Fielded by Dalton, makes the play down to Morandini. So Kenny Hill is able to sacrifice for the first out of the inning.
There must be something wrong with the ball tonight, too. Dutch had a little trouble getting that one out of his glove.
That's right. Blame it on the ball.
I think it's the replacement umpires. They told him to rub, they have that special mud that they rub the balls with down before the game. I think they got a hold of some Stickum or something and rub the balls with Stickum. They're not functioning exactly the way they're supposed to this evening.
Bernard Gilkey bats for the second time. He grounded out on a nice play by Dave Hollins. He hit that ball sharply. Bernard from right here in St. Louis. He turned down a basketball scholarship at Drake University to pursue baseball. Now the rain is all but stopped. We had a brief hard shower now, but the intensity has really slackened. Dalton trying to make that ball appear as though it caught the corner, which it didn't. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies and the Cardinals in the daytime here tomorrow. It's supposed to chill down considerably here tonight when this cold front does pass through, and we're going to have temperatures in the 50s here tomorrow. It's going to be warmer in Philadelphia tomorrow than it is here in St. Louis, and at this time of the year that doesn't happen very often. Curt Schilling has 5 to work with. Going to have to absorb some raindrops out there, though. Ouch.
The 5 runs that the Phillies put on the board in the top of the 3rd inning, really demoralizing to the Cardinals too, because they struggled all spring long offensively trying to put runs on the board. Their pitching was pretty good, but they really had a tough time scoring runs in spring training.
Gilkey grounds to 3rd. Charlie Hayes throws across and gets him, and while doing so, Manny Lee has to stay at second base. So Charlie gets his first play.
And it's really demoralizing, when you're having trouble scoring runs, and the other team puts a 5 spot in this case on the board against you. It really takes a lot of the air out of your balloon, because you haven't been able to score 5 runs in a game, more or less. Come back from a 5-run deficit going into the bottom of the 3rd inning.
And in spring training, the Phillies averaged 7 runs a ball game. Here's the play. Drops it first. I believe they're scoring out a base hit. And the Cardinals have 1st and 3rd with 2 outs.
Well, Stocker does a nice job. Actually goes to the right field side of second base. Gets the throw off in time to first base. A little bit of a short hop. David Allen's not able to come up with it. That's a play that as he becomes more comfortable with first base, he will be able to do. In fact, that didn't even short hop. That hit off the heel of his glove. He just over adjusted on that. I thought at first it was a short hop, but that wasn't. That was a ball that should have been caught by Hollins at first base, and the Phillies should have been out of this inning, but not the case.
In steps Ray Lankford, 0 for 1, a ground ball to Morandini. So the Cardinals pick up their third hit of the ball game, and it's important now to get Lankford. Schilling overthrew that pitch.
Overthrew it and almost threw it over Darren Dalton's head.
It's a ball game where we've seen, including both teams now, 3 infield hits. The rain is picking up again. It's harder. Bounces away from Dalton, but the runners don't go. By the way, they're going to have natural grass here at Busch Stadium starting next year. Of course, I'm sure they'll have that drain-through turf like they do at Joe Robbie Stadium, so this kind of rain wouldn't be a problem with it.
No, it would just dampen the field a little bit. You know, typically when grass gets wet, the ball will scoot a little more, but it really shouldn't be that much of a factor. And you know, when you get rain in St. Louis, you usually get it in buckets full. You don't get just a little drizzles like we're getting right now.
Now Schilling is in a little trouble here. 3-0 the count on the number 3 hitter in the lineup. He leads 5-0, but he doesn't want to give anything back right here with Cooper on deck. Get yourself in slam territory here, and anything can happen. And we are in slam territory. The bases are loaded. Bases loaded, and you face the cleanup hitter. Schilling's first walk. Now, Schilling struck out Cooper the first time around. Dalton says, let's do it again.
Well, it appears as if, you know, Schilling tried to go out and end the inning by himself and actually went out and started overthrowing the ball a little bit, was throwing that ball up and out of the strike zone. I'm sure when Dutch went out there, he told Kurt what Johnny Padres would if he had gone out there, which is just, hey, slow it back down. You're throwing the ball good. Just get in your natural rhythm and get the ball down here. Let's get this inning over with and get back in the dugout.
Well, now Kurt will work from the full windup. Strike. Got the first one over. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. In spring training, Curt Schilling was limited to 8 innings this year, during which he gave up 9 hits and 3 runs. He walked only 1 all spring. Almost hit him. 2 balls and a strike on Cooper. Scott Cooper, 27 years of age. He made the All-Star team in the American League last year. Fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cooper. A .284 lifetime hitter. Pretty good bat.
2 balls and 2 strikes. This is where you want to make something happen. You don't want the count to go to 3-2 with 2 outs. Let the Cardinal runners on the bases. It doesn't matter much about the runner at third, Manny Lee, but the other 2 runners, Ozzie and Ray Lankford, get a good jump. Extra base hit. They can probably score with their speed, so try to make something happen here.
Well, the string runs out now. Full count.
Now they are in motion.
Jordan on deck. Lee at third, Smith at second, Lankford at first, and a 5-0 ball game. But the Cardinals could change that here. A key spot in the game. And it's out in the left center field. Extra bases for Cooper. 2-run score for the Cardinals. Cooper is held to a single, but it's now a 5-2 ball game, and the hometown native gets a hand from the fans here.
While the runners are running, Cooper slashes his ball into left field. Ball down in the strike zone, not a bad pitch. Greg Jeffries does a nice job of getting over and cutting this ball off almost over his head and getting it back in a hurry. Langford at first with good speed was off and running, but because Jeffries was able to get the ball back in, Langford only able to move to third base, so at least for the time saves one run. Johnny Padres making a quick trip to the mound. He's out and back. But the Cardinals come up with 2 runs and have runners on the corner now with 2 outs. So the inning where you wanted to shut them down and get right back into the dugout has not worked out that way for the Phillies.
Jordan struck out his first time up there. Runners at the corners here with 2 outs. Now when you look back at the inning, the ball dropped at first base by Hollins, although not charged as an error, certainly opened the gates here.
Did kept the inning alive.
Ricky Batalico is up in the bullpen. One ball, 1 strike on Brian Jordan. Torrey wants more consistency out of Jordan. He had his stretches, but there have been a lot of times where he really hasn't helped him all that much, and it's about time for him, now that he has a regular job, as Teague pointed out earlier, for him to start being more consistent, put it together day by day. He chased that one. 1-2 on Brian. The skipper, Joe Torre. Joe is in his 5th full year here, his 14th year as a major league manager. And he's on the last year of his contract. He was kind of kept dangling this last year. And they made some changes on his coaching staff. Here's a line drive to left field. The Cardinals get another run. It's a 5-3 game on a single by Jordan.
Both pitchers, Hill and Schilling, following the same type of scenario. First 2 innings, very smooth, very comfortable. Both running into problems here in the 3rd inning.
Brian Jordan does his job, and it brings John Mabry to the plate. Jammed him on it.
Yeah, got in there on him, but able to get enough of it. Jordan was to be able to force it out into left field.
Mabry fouls one out of play. Mabry got the first Cardinal hit tonight, a single to center field.
So now Jim Fregosi sitting in the same seat in the bottom of the 3rd inning that Joe Torre was sitting in the top of the 3rd inning, trying to find that balance between work and winning the ball games. Now this is no longer spring training, folks. These games count.
Two on for the Cards. Cooper at second, Jordan at first. They represent the tying runs in this ball game. Mabry up there with that 1,000 batting average right now. 2-1. Mabry called up Monday as an early season fill-in last year. He batted .304. 3 of his 7 hits were for extra bases. Here's one to Jeffries. He gets there, makes the play, and the inning comes to a close. But the Cardinals put 3 back up. 4 hits in the inning, 2 men left on base, and it's 5-3 Phillies after 3.
Another popular Mellon PSFS Business Person Special coming up Thursday, May 11th at 1:05 when the Phillies play the Expos. Save on any ticket you buy. All ticket prices are reduced. Call 463-1000.
Pirates are in for the first homestand for the Phillies on Friday night in the opener against the Phillies. It's going to be Paul Quantrill for the Phils and Denny Nagel for Pittsburgh at 7:35. Saturday, 7:05, Tyler Green faces Esteban Loaiza. And Sunday at 1:35, Michael Mims against John Lieber. Don't forget, all ticket prices are reduced for home games through May 21st. Order tickets by phone. Call 463-1000 or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS Broad and Chestnut Street. Cardinals making a change at second base now, putting Jose Oquendo in the ball game for Manny Lee, so that ankle must really be bothering him.
He sprained the ankle and they had to remove him from the ball game. So Jose Oquendo, the third second baseman of the Cardinals. Of course, we mentioned Geronimo Pena not playing, Manny Lee in his spot. Now he gets hurt, so Jose Oquendo in to play second base for the Cardinals. We got to get Greg Jeffries to the point where he can catch him with his mouth closed. He'll be a lot more comfortable nestling under that ball when that mouth is closed and he's standing still underneath it. But as long right now, we'll just take, make the plays, get the job done.
Curt Schilling started a 5-run rally for the Phillies with an infield single. And he gets another shot here. Curt up there with that 1,000 batting average as well. Schilling's 26th major league hit. So Torrey's patience with Kenny Hill has been rewarded. He left his ace out there, and his team was able to get him back in the ball game. So now Hill is down by just 2, and Torrey's glad he's not in his bullpen. It's a strike, 1-1. Joe catching up on his reading.
Got the game notes out, a scorecard.
Joe's got to be going to the bifocals before too long, doesn't he?
He's got it out there about as far as he can hold it away from him.
Ground ball the opposite way, and it's going to be a fair ball. See how they score it, but Schilling is safe again. Curt Schilling is, and the whole Phillies team for that matter, testing the right side of the Cardinal defense, and it's an error on Mabry.
Mabry again, this time gets to the ball. Extended a little bit, but not really extended beyond his range. Should have been able to make the play on that. But we mentioned, the ball's coming off the bat. He's an outfielder by trade, not used to being at first base. Todd Zeile, as you see right there, the normal Cardinal first baseman on the disabled list, can do nothing but sit by and watch. And Mabry's had problems with the ball down at first base. There's no doubt about it. So the Phillies get another break and get the inning started with the pitcher on base.
Dykstra, line shot, base hit, center field. Schilling pulls up at second, and here we go again. First 2 guys get on, and we're at the top of the order here. So Lenny picks up his first base hit of the year. And fans, that's the way it's going to be this year. Get ready.
Yeah, and this inning starting out exactly the same as last inning. The Cardinals' defensive inability to get Schilling out to start the inning. Dykstra's ability to get on, and now Phillies again working back toward the middle of that lineup.
Morandini with a big blow in that 5-run third. He had a 2-run double.
Jeff Parrott up again for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Foul ball. The Birdman. Parrott was hurt last year a good deal of the year and never did pitch in the major leagues. He was in the minors all year. What year there was of it for him. Mickey grounded out first time up and then got that 2-run double. No balls and 2 strikes on Morandini.
Well, this inning has started off exactly the same way as the top of the third for the Phillies. We can only be hopeful that the Phillies can continue throughout the inning and have the same result at the end. The table is set.
Morandini protecting the plate, fouled that one off. Well, Kenny Hill has not had an easy night of it. He hasn't gotten the Phillies in order yet. And I have a feeling that's going to be kind of the story this year, as this lineup is not going to go 1, 2, 3 all that often.
No, there really aren't any soft spots in the Philly lineup from top to bottom.
Good eye, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mickey. Probably a chance for Mariano Duncan to play tomorrow. Danny Jackson goes for St. Louis. Day game after a night game. All the ingredients are there to play Dunk tomorrow. Kid and Dunk on the bus coming in last night. They say, well, now when you when you face Danny Jackson, what are you going to look for? He says, I'm going to look for sinker away, cutter on the fists.
And then the changeup.
Yeah. Danny Jacks, intense competitor, had a great year for the Phillies last year. They wanted him back desperately, but they knew in the economic scheme of things it wasn't going to be possible. Morandini fouls another one. 1-2. Danny turned out to be a pretty good hitter for the Phillies last year, too. He got some big hits.
And I can tell you, when I played with Danny in 1989 in Cincinnati, he was not. In fact, he was one of the guys that made me feel good about going to the plate.
Oh, wait a minute.
Additions to the Cardinals, Danny sitting right next to Tom Henke, the new closer acquired from the Texas Rangers. Actually acquired as a free agent, I think.
Yeah, and Henke was going to retire, and they talked him into playing one more year. He says, this is definitely it. Morandini is called out on strikes, and that's the first strikeout for Kenny Hill.
Backdoor breaking ball by Hill right here. Starts the ball off the plate. You see Pagnozzi setting outside. Wraps it back around on the outside corner.
In steps Greg Jeffries. Cardinals have not retired him officially. He has walked and reached on an error with 1 run. Just showed you Danny Jackson. In a sense, you could say that Jeffries got the money that the Phillies would have had to spend had they wanted to retain Jackson. So many people feel that the Phillies are feeling as though everyday players rate more of a risk on long-term contracts than pitchers do, and that's a tough one. I'm sitting next to a pitcher, so I got to be careful here, you know, but that's a tough one to argue with in my view.
Well, you know, and when you look at the Phillies the last couple of years, they've had some real tough decisions to make about starting pitchers. 2 years ago with Terry Mulholland, this past offseason with Danny Jackson, both of which have had histories of injuries, and that has to work into the equation. A pitcher with an injury, it can, especially an arm injury that Jackson had, it can take you down, for the rest of your career.
Center field to play for Langford, and the runners will not be able to move, so this once bright rally now needs a hero, as the first 2 reached, but the next 2 have been retired, and Dave Hollins, he of the opposite field home run, is coming up. Interesting that Dave yesterday appeared in the home run hitting contest at Veterans Stadium, and even off right-handed pitching, he batted right-handed. So what that tells me is that he feels he's better able to hit home runs right-handed. Well, he jerked one out of here the opposite way, left-handed tonight, hitting it to the deeper reaches of the left field corner.
How many did he hit?
I think he had 3, if I'm not mistaken. Dave takes a strike. He flied out to center first time up. I think the fans who came out to Veterans Stadium yesterday enjoyed that workout and all the various contests that the Phillies had. Ground ball to the Wizard. Ozzie with the flip over to his new second baseman, kind of close. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left on base, and it's 5-3 Phillies.
You called me something. Nothing.
I believe he called you a gutless coward.
No, I did not say that. I was teasing. Teasing? I don't like being teased.
See, there you go, being unlikable again.
A woman's suffering's not a funny thing.
There are exceptions.
Everybody's got a gun. Stop playing around and stop those horses.
Whoa, Ollie, whoa.
However did you escape from those hostiles? Oh. My, such splendid similarities. Well, from the looks of things, I'll have the lady come in with some more.
The Montreal Expos come to town Tuesday, May 9th and Wednesday, May 10th at 7:35. And then again Thursday, May 11th at 1:05 for a Mellon PSFS Business Person Special. A May afternoon at the ballpark is always a special treat. So come on out. And remember, you save $5 on box seats and $3 on 600 level reserve seats. Call 463-1000.
Sunday is Equipment Bag Day at Veterans Stadium. A big, durable, colorful bag with a zipper top and handles, perfect for all children 14 and under. Compliments of Pico Energy. So make your plans to come on out and see the Phillies and the Pirates on Sunday. And remember that all ticket prices are reduced through the 21st of May. You may order by phone 463-1000 or stop by any one of the many local Ticketmaster outlets. And we have the two team mascots here tonight, both of them.
You want a personal opinion?
I know what your opinion is, and you're right.
In that frame right there, you are seeing the best and the worst mascot in Major League Baseball in the same shot. You can make your decision which one you think is which.
Yeah, well.
The best is losing the battle right now.
It's staged, right?
Not a level playing field.
Pagnozzi leads off the Cardinal fourth and takes a strike. He lined out to left field in his only at bat. The Cardinal bullpen remains up, so I believe maybe Kenny Hill's going to be leaving the ball game here. Vicente Palacios is up. Ground ball to Morandini. Mickey turns it into out number one. Now we're going to see Jose Oquendo batting for the first time. Oquendo for the Cardinals last year hit .264, no homers, 9 RBIs. Switch hitter. Hit .278 in spring training, knocked in 1 run. Torrey telling Kenny Hill that
keep the jacket on.
Yeah. Although no pinch hitter has yet come out. Oquendo with that wide open stance.
Well, Hill's on the bench. He's sitting down with the drink, so he will not be hitting in the next slot. Torrey probably back into those notes in that scorecard he had before, trying to figure out who his pinch hitter is going to be. All the extra players that he has to work with now, the 28-man roster.
He's going to send out a young outfielder by the name of Alan Battle, a rookie.
Whoa, watch that bat.
313 at Louisville last year for Battle.
So it appears as if Palacios will be our pitcher next inning for the Cardinals. A little up and in.
Out to the shortstop. Stocker makes the play. There are 2 down. And Alan Battle will get a chance to come up. Battle was claimed in the Rule 5 draft by the Chicago White Sox last spring, but then returned to the Cardinals. And he responded by leading the American Association with 44 doubles. He had 163 hits and 104 runs. He's also a fleet youngster. He stole 23 bases in 31 attempts last year at Louisville.
And in fact, in spring training, the battle for the extra outfield spot was between Alan Battle and John Mabry. Alan Battle had won that battle, so to speak, and he was on the original roster. And then, of course, Mabry now has joined the ball club since the injuries to Todd Zeal. A lot of speed.
Battle's major league debut. He's never appeared in the bigs.
So this closes the book on Kenny Hill's opening night effort. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 strikeout, 3 walks, 5 runs, 4 earned.
2 balls and a strike.
I'm sure coming over to a new ball club, he was hoping for a little better than that, but the Phillies, with a little help from the Cardinals, dropped that 5 spot on him in the top of the 3rd.
Off the end of his bat, and it's foul. 2-2. Battle is 25 years of age. up high, and it's a full count on the pinch hitter, Alan Battle. And the Fanatic has taken over on the roof of the Cardinal dugout. Struck him out. Kurt Schilling with his third strikeout, and the first 1-2-3 inning since back in the first. At the end of 4 tonight, it's 5-3 Phillies.
Here's a look at this week's Mellon PSFS Financial Scoreboard, featuring our best CD rates. Call 1-800-MELLON-2. Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies.
Lou Gehrig was known as the Iron Man of baseball, and his fans thought he was indestructible. Until a fatal neuromuscular disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, prematurely ended his career and his life. Help win the one Lou couldn't. Call the ALS Association.
Yeah, Fred Bird and Philly Fanatic have now got a love affair going down here. Well, all of you at home, listen and listen close. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies. Pay attention.
Cardinals coming on with a new pitcher, 31-year-old Mexican right-hander Vicente Palacios, who's had a lot of rotator cuff problems throughout his career. But last year, he was in that non-support category, the club's most consistent and least supported pitcher in '94. In his 17 starts, the Cardinals averaged 1.1 runs for him. Now that is grounds for a suit, isn't it, Teakwood? Phillies lead at 5-3 as Palacios comes on. He's 2-2 lifetime against the Phillies.
I'll tell you what, he's in the bullpen right now, but I wouldn't be surprised in the not too near future that he's out of the bullpen back in the starting rotation. He was working as a starter in spring training right up till the final days, but Cardinals decided to go in a different direction, put him in the bullpen. Of course, with these extended pitching staffs, you're looking for some versatility. Palacios does give you that. He's able to pitch both as a starter and reliever, and has done the job in both of those capacities throughout his career.
You know, you talk about the Cardinal 5-man rotation right now. They have the one right-hander and 4 lefties. That's really unusual.
Yeah, and it's a little curious to me that, you know, they would make the decision to not take one of those left-handers, put him in the bullpen, put Palacios in the starting rotation. It would give them a little better balance in their bullpen. Only 2 left-handers in the Cardinal bullpen.
Dalton grounds a foul. It's a full count on Dutch. The other left-handers, of course, are Danny Jackson, whom we will see tomorrow. And then you've got Donovan Osborne coming off an arm injury last year that kept him out all year long. Alan Watson and the number 5 starter, Tom Urbani, who wasn't informed that he would be number 5 until yesterday.
And he still looks like he's puzzled by the whole thing.
3-2. Cooper, nice stop. Gets it over there, and Mabry hung on to it. So the crowd responds to a nice play by Cooper.
And a nice play indeed it was. Scott Cooper, as you mentioned, playing in his hometown, had to go out on his chest. Dalton slashes the ball, a tailing fastball away, hits it to the hole, completely extended. Cooper comes up with it, and then that shoulder doesn't seem to be bothering him too much. He got it across there pretty good. Mabry this time hangs on to it.
Eisenreich takes outside ball 1. Jim looking for a hit. He's flied to left and grounded to short. Ball and a strike on Eisenreich. Charlie Hayes on deck. Phillies batting in the 5th and leading 5-3.
We just got a report from the Cardinal medical staff. Manny Lee was taken for x-rays. They proved to be negative, so he's got a sprained right ankle and is listed currently day-to-day, but his day-to-day is over.
Day-to-day alongside their starting second baseman, Pena, who is also day-to-day. Did he swing? No swing, says Fred Schaff, the third base umpire. 3 balls and a strike on Eisenreich. Down the left field line, foul out of play. Jim Fregosi worked for these Cardinals. He was their skipper at Louisville for a couple of years. Strike 3 call. Palacios gets a strikeout for the second out of the inning.
Good location on this fastball. Down, away, perfect, right on the corner, knee high. Izzy knew that one was there. Just takes a walk back to the dugout. No arguments.
Now that caught the corner all right. Here is Charlie Hayes. He is grounded into a force out and walked. Bases empty, 2 outs. Phillies have not gone in order tonight. Up to Charlie to keep that streak alive.
Palacios not the kind of guy that you want to go up to the plate and try to guess what pitch you're going to get. He throws 5 of them: a fastball, curveball, slider, a straight change, and a forkball. So you only got a 20% chance of being right if you're going to guess just randomly. That pitch on the inside corner, according to Dave Yeast. Charlie not real sure that he agrees with that judgment.
Typical way a batter shows his displeasure is by getting out of the box and taking a little extra time.
I just give him a little time to think about it.
Look at Pagnozzi hold that there, just kind of like freeze frame.
Just off the outside corner. A good pitch by Palacios, because if the home plate umpire, Dave Yeast, was a little bit upset about the fact that Hayes had walked around, he gave him the opportunity, if he wanted to ring him up on a pitch just off the corner, but Yeast decides not to.
Charlie got just a piece of it. You know, Cardinals got great pitching in spring training. They had a staff ERA, and remember now, in spring training, all ERAs are high, but their staff ERA was 3.20, second best in the National League. Only the Expos had a better one. Now it's 3-2. Donovan Osborne, we mentioned that he was out with an injury all of last year. He had reconstructive surgery on his left shoulder, but he has looked healthy in spring training this year.
You're talking about that 3.20 earned run average for the staff. You know, you got to realize that the numbers of the guys that didn't make the staff are included in that.
That's right. Sharply hit, base hit for Charlie Hayes. So the Phillies have had hits in every inning except the first, and they had a walk there. Phillies' 6th hit of the evening, and Stocker comes up. Stocker has hit into 2 force outs tonight. One's hitting the ball to third, and one's hitting the ball to second. Stocker's job here is to somehow get aboard to get the pitcher out of the way. I mentioned earlier that Stocker drew 8 walks in spring training, more than any other member of the team, even more than Dykstra. Schill's out on deck. He's been on base twice tonight.
And we've talked about it before, about Stocker hitting in the 8th hole. How good he is at these types of situations, finding a way to get on. You know, it's not easy for a young player to hit in the 8th hole. You know, you think it's down at the bottom of the lineup. You know, it's one of the lower hitters on your club, but it's not an easy spot to hit in, because you've always got a pitcher hitting behind you, especially in the middle of the ball game. And Schilling on deck, you know that he's not going to be hit for. Nobody warming up for the Phillies.
Strike. 1-2 on Stock.
So it's a difficult job to do, and Kevin Stocker does it very well.
From the pitcher's point of view, though, he wants to get Stocker and make the next inning easier by starting with the pitcher. So he's not really trying to walk Stocker by any means. But he's trying to get him to hit his pitch. See, there's one right there. He just nibbled at that corner. 2-2. That's where the good eye comes in. Stocker can let him nibble, but of course he has to protect the plate. And the score, 5-3 Phillies in the 5th. Ground ball. Oquendo plays it. Stocker retired, and you're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, a hit, one left. Go to the bottom of the 5th. 5-3 Phils.
There's an exciting window of opportunity.
There's Lindros in front. Score!
An opportunity to own good seats at Flyers games for the first time in decades.
Big hook shot. Got it.
To be front and center for the next generation of Flyers and Sixers action. To have some serious fun. But don't just sit there. Once this opportunity is gone, it's gone. Premium seating at Core State Center. It's how you play the game.
Rock, country, blues, alternative, folk, new wave, acoustic, world beat, progressive, postmodern, popular. Music for every taste on one channel. Prism, the Prism Music Magazine. The Middle East presents Bronco Bill's Country Showcase. O'Flaherty's Acoustic. 4 new music shows. A new show every week, exclusively on Prism. The channel with a better variety of...
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice. Maybe you should keep the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you in part by the Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 people use the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. And by your local Dodge dealers. Come in today because we know how to help. Andy Musser with Kent DeCalvi on a nice spring evening here in St. Louis, and the Phillies are ahead of the Cardinals by a 5-3 score. St. Louis batting in the 5th inning. In the top of their lineup, it's Bernard Gilkey. Curt Schilling has done a pretty good job at the top of the lineup, keeping Gilkey from starting anything. Gilkey 0 for 2, twice retiring him on groundouts. Gilkey, just one of many players making less money this year than they did last year. Gilkey was allowed to become a free agent. And he was for about a day. They signed him right away. But in a case like that, you do take a risk. You say to a guy, you know, I'm going to risk losing you. If there's a better offer out there, grab it. Walt Jocketty. Oh, was that Mark Lamping? That's Mark Lamping, the president of the team. Hard hit, scooped up on the short hop by Morandini. And that's the 3rd time that Gilkey has been retired on an infield ground out. And here's the guy that always gets the biggest hand. The crowd just loves Ozzie Smith. Ozzie has grounded out and picked up an infield single, and he scored one of the Cardinal runs.
And why not? He has thrilled these fans in St. Louis for many, many years with his outstanding play. Deserves every bit of the accolation that he gets.
Ozzie will bunt sometimes. Hayes is shallow, and there's John Goodman.
Or is that Babe Ruth?
Yeah, really. He played the Babe. Bouncer again for Morandini. Mickey up to it. And Ozzie is out. There are 2 down. We understand that Goodman is building a house in this area and is going to make his home here in the immediate St. Louis area.
Quite an imposing figure.
Looks like, I've never met him, but he looks like he'd be a good guy, doesn't he?
Looks like he's a lot of fun, and he's a heck of an actor.
Coming up for the Cardinals, Ray Lankford. He is grounded out and walked, and that walk cost Schilling. It's the only batter he walked, but Lankford, sure enough, came around to score. Base is empty, 2 out. Dalton wanted the pitch. High a ball. Schilling needs another out to make sure he's the winning pitcher if the Phillies hold the lead. You know, in this shortened spring training and going into a shortened season, they talked about allowing a pitcher to win a game by only working 3 innings, but they decided against that. That rule was never passed. And so all the scoring rules are the same. You have to work 5 to win a ball game.
And I think it was the right decision.
Yeah, I do too. People had a bad reaction to being able to win a game with 3 innings of work. You do it in spring training, fine.
Yeah, but you know, all the records in the game of baseball are set on the pitcher pitching 5 innings. And, you know, if you're going to start comparing seasons against seasons, the rules have to be the same. The scoring has to be the same.
Yep. Down the left field line, fair or foul, foul ball. That would have been extra bases for Lankford, but he'll have to come back.
And the other part of it is, you know, from a management standpoint, why would you want to take it and lower it to 3 innings and give guys who aren't going 5 innings early in the season, which of course are your starting pitchers most of the time, more opportunities to add more wins on and come back to you next year and say, hey, I won 17 games in a short season. That would have been 20 in a full season.
Kent DeCalby, the company man. Nice call.
Well,
yeah, you're right, though.
Just seems to make sense to me. Not many things do, but that one happened too.
2-2 pitch. Another play for Morandini. Mickey has just tied a major league record. He makes them all. And the Cardinals go down in order. Through 5, the Phillies lead the Cardinals 5-3.
Suspension's going, you can feel it in your bones. Your car shakes, rattles, and rolls. The suspension experts at Midas can help with Shake, Rattle, and Roll Control. You get 25% off your car's alignment or 50% off your second shocker strut or both. It's a deal that'll make things go a whole lot smoother for you. So hurry in today for 25% off alignment or 50% off your second shocker strut or both. That's the Midas way, the way it should be.
Baseball's back. Jeffries is here. The Phillies open their 25th season at the Vet against the Pirates Friday, April 28th at 7:35. Kite Man delivers the first ball. The Phils battle the Bucks again Saturday the 29th at 7:05. And Sunday, April 30th at 1:35 when all fans 14 and under get a handsome equipment bag free. And remember, for every home game through May 21st, you save $5 on box seats and $3 on 600 level reserve seats. Call 463-1000.
Prism is happy to have the home opener for you Friday night when the Pittsburgh Pirates come to town to open the season at the Vet. Also the game on Saturday night for the second straight season. Prism is proud to televise the Phillies home opener. Catch all of the action with Todd Callis, Chris Wheeler, and Gary Maddox as the Phillies battle Jim Leyland and his Pittsburgh Pirates Friday night at 7:30. The pregame show, the Phillies' first pitch, can be seen 30 minutes prior to every telecast this season, right on Prism.
Tony Longmire starts the inning for the Phillies, who have a 5-3 lead. Tony is batting for Curt Schilling. And for the Phillies, Toby Borland will be the next pitcher. Longmire getting a chance to be the Phillies' first pinch hitter this year. Tony batted .237 for the Phillies last year. In spring training, He led the Phillies in RBIs.
10 of them.
2 homers for Tony. Oh, he only batted 200, but as we say, some power numbers.
The hits that he got, he made them count.
Puts a charge into this ball, deep left center field. He's got a pinch home run. Tony Longmire makes the Phillies a 6-3 leader in this game.
Well, you said when he gets a hit, he makes it count. He gets runs for the Phillies on the board right here. Pinch hitting in the leadoff spot for Curt Schilling to start the 6th inning. Drives the ball deep to left center field. Well, Curt says, if I got to go out of the game, the guy that's going in for me might as well hit the ball out of the ballpark. Sure enough, Tony Longmire, and that is Busch Stadium in center field, is not the easiest place in the world to hit the ball out of. Tony with good extension right through this pitch from Palacios. You see right here, the ball up a little bit and out over the plate. That is not the very easiest part of this ballpark to hit it out of, but he hit it well out in left center field.
Phillies' second home run of the ball game. Dave Hollins hit the other one. 6-3 Phillies.
Phillies pinch hitters are hot.
Boy, I'll say. Here's Dykstra. Lenny check swing foul ball. Lenny has been on base twice this evening. A walk and a single. He scored 1 run. Tony Longmire. First pinch home run of the year.
And a rocket it was.
Yeah, we've had 2 homers here tonight. And as Teak mentioned, this is not an easy home run park, and yet they've both been no doubt abouters. I mean, a lot of times you see the home runs here go into the geraniums out there, but not those 2 tonight.
And both of them by left-handed hitters to the opposite side of the field. Tony Longmire's to left center field. David Hollins right down the left field line.
High, a ball, 2-2. Got just a piece of it. You know, in all of spring training, the Cardinals only hit 2 home runs. The Phillies hit 2 here tonight. Curt Schilling gets an extra run. His evening work is completed. The line on Schilling, 5 innings, 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts for Schill. Call out on strikes, and Dykstra is not happy with Dave Yeast.
Lenny, who prides himself on his batting eye at the plate. And we saw him just the pitch before foul one off that was just borderline up and away. Here we see Pagnozzi sitting on the outside part of the plate. It appeared to be just a little bit off the outside corner.
Morandini takes a strike. Mickey is 1 for 3 tonight, but it was a big one. He had a 2-run double in the 3rd inning. One.
That call right there, too. I think the players are going to have to be aware with these substitute umpires. Probably the one thing that's going to show up more than anything else is the home plate umpire, the consistency of the strike zone throughout the game. May not be quite as selective on those balls near the plate. With the regular umpires, you have a pretty good idea of what the guy's strike zone is. These are all new strike zones, and you have new people to get used to working with.
Yeah. Now, this particular plate umpire, the Phillies did have him in spring training a time or 2. Morandini chased one a little bit. So Mickey strikes out for the 2nd time. Mickey normally doesn't strike out very much. 3rd K for Palacios. And now they've decided to boo Jeffries. They were cheering him his first couple of times up there, but they're giving him a little raspberry here. I don't know why. He has walked, reached on an errant fly to center, scoring once. Also has a stolen base. Ball 1 on Greg Jeffries. You know, Jeffries was pointing out yesterday that he has never hit well at Veterans Stadium. But he said prior to playing in St. Louis, he said, I'd never hit well at Busch Stadium either, but he came up with great numbers here his 2 years as a home player. So I wouldn't worry about him, folks. I think he'll do just fine at the Vet, and we'll start to see on Friday night. There's a strike. Off the glove of Palacios, but he recovers and makes the play. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Pinch home run from Tony Longmire, and the Phillies now lead it 6-3.
Are you a student in this class?
No, I'm a bum. But bear in mind, I'm a Harvard bum. If a woman is willing to give you her love, it's the greatest gift in the world. To love free, to feed the remainder of life with 1 hour of fullness and freedom, one brief hour of madness and joy.
Whether you're negotiating a deal,
Okay, if you're good, I'll read you a story.
Come on, make it 2.
calling in an order,
Skip the strawberry. We want chocolate.
scheduling a meeting,
I'm at the Big Artichokes.
or just checking in with the boss,
Honey, is it okay if I stay another half hour?
the most important thing is that the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile, the heart of communication. Call 1-800-255-BELL.
People come in and say, why 5 grades of gasoline? I tell them offering only 3 grades would be like selling suits in small, medium, and large. Some people would get a good fit. Some could use a little tailoring. So if you want to know why we give you all these choices, think about the guy who needs a 41 long, and picture him wearing a 39 short.
Ticket discount. All ticket prices reduced for all home games through the 21st of May. Box seats reduced $5. Reserve seats reduced $3. General admission reduced $1. Tickets are easy to order by phone. Just call 463-1000 and take advantage of Phillies baseball at greatly reduced prices. Toby Borland comes on to pitch for the Phillies. He has a 3-run lead at 6-3 Phillies as Toby comes on to make an appearance. And he had an outstanding spring for the Phillies, going 2-0 with a 1.13 earned run average. Teak, I know you think he has a bright future.
I really do. You know, he kind of floundered for a couple of years, had trouble making the jump from AA to AAA, but last year it seemed like all the confidence in the world came together for Toby Borland, and I think he really believes that he can pitch now in the big leagues. And that is really half of the battle for a young pitcher, is to be able to get the confidence to be able to relax, and in his case, be aggressive and challenge the hitters. You see right here, the first pitch, bang, pounded in there for strike 1, get ahead. So I think it's really just a matter of time before Toby Borland establishes himself as one of the real premier relievers in the National League.
Flare to left field, and it's a base hit. So Scott Cooper gets his second hit of the ball game. He's 2 out of 3. Hit number 6 for St. Louis. Cooper drove in 2 runs with a single the last time he batted. Now Brian Jordan will be the hitter. Toby Borland appeared in 24 games for the Phillies last year and did earn 1 save. He also won a ball game, did not lose, and had a nice earned run average of 2.36. The rest of the time he was at Scranton Wilkes-Barre last year. He was 4-1 there with a 1.68 earned run average. Teddy Sizemore, ex-Phil, stopping in the booth here. Nice to see Size. And happy birthday to Bobby Rydell, celebrating his 53rd. Bobby of Penn Valley, Pennsylvania. Here's a drive to left field. Gone. Brian Jordan with a 2-run home run, and it's down to a 1-run edge now. 6-5 Phillies. The So the Cardinals show a little bit of comeback themselves.
You mentioned the Cardinals with only 2 home runs all spring long. Jordan was not one of those players that hit the home run. He did not have a home run in spring training, but he gets his first of the year right here. Breaking ball by Borland. It's on the outside part of the plate, but not down low enough. Jordan able to extend his arms and get out in front of it, and this was a no-doubter. About halfway up in the lower deck in left field. Brian Jordan has the potential to, be one of those guys that can hit a lot of home runs.
Rich DeLucia is up in the Cardinal bullpen. They're getting down toward the bottom of the order, and if something really gets going here, they'll want to hit for Palacios. The batter now is Mabry. 1 for 2, a single. Holland's going to need the cover of Borland. Led him nicely that time. Dave's been throwing the ball behind the pitcher coming over a couple of times, but he put a nice lead on that one. 1 out.
And what he did on that play that makes the play much easier is once he got the ball, he moved toward first base and actually closed the distance that he had to throw it. If you throw the ball from here, you have to throw it overhand. So what does he do? He shortens the distance, makes it an underhand toss, much easier to control and get out in front of Borland. Nicely executed.
Pagnazzi swings through a pitch, strike 1. Pags has lined to left and grounded to second. Phillies lead at 6-5. Each team has had 7 hits. Stocker flags it. He got him. He got him. What a play. A catcher running helped on that play, no doubt. But Stocker makes a nice play.
Pagnazzi with not the greatest speed, but Stocker here diving almost away, catches it right, snow cones it in the end of his glove, and able to jump right back to his feet, and that's where he made the play, being able to get off the ground, get back to his feet in time to get rid of the ball. All that included, still with Pagnazzi, the slow runner, a very close play at first base, but a strong play by Kevin Stocker.
This is Oquendo, who came in the game in the 4th inning after Manny Lee suffered an ankle injury, and Oquendo has grounded out in his lone at bat. He swung through another one. 0-2 on Jose. Luis Alicea, a longtime infielder here, is no longer with the Cardinals. Flare down the left field line. It's out of play.
Alicea now playing with the Boston Red Sox. In fact, scored a couple runs this afternoon in that Boston game. So made himself a factor immediately upon going to the Red Sox.
Look at that. That ball was going to hit it. He backed off from the plate, took a swing, and loops it out in the left field for a base hit. That ball was going to hit Oquendo.
Oquendo, who stands right on top of the plate with that open stance. You see that back leg. Ball just, he kind of pulls the back leg out of the way, and then it just goes ahead and hits the ball from there. Throw it at his knee. Just take the leg out of the way and put the bat on the ball. That's not the way it's supposed to happen.
Cardinals go to a pinch hitter, Danny Schaefer, who is a Pennsylvanian. Danny is from the York area, went to Redlands High School. He's going to be the pinch hitter. Schaefer the last couple of years has been with the Colorado Rockies.
Schaefer,
33-year-old Danny Schaefer.
Yeah, Schaefer, one of the 3 catchers that the Cardinals have on their roster. Scott Heeman, also a catcher. So
he's in a little bit of everything, isn't he?
Yeah, he can do a little bit of everything. But Joe Torre, just like Jim Fregosi early in the season, going with 3 catchers.
Well, the nice thing about that is you can use one of them to pinch hit. If you only have 2, the guy that's on the bench can almost never be used as a pinch hitter. I mean, when he is, you're really taking a big chance.
Yeah, you are, because in the Cardinals' case, when Todd Zeile is healthy, he can go back there and catch. He has caught in the past. And Oquendo, who is now playing second base, is also an emergency catcher. But you really don't like to get into that situation.
Schaefer had 4 homers for the Colorado Rockies last year, and one of them was a game winner off Lee Smith.
I saw DeLucia warming up in the Cardinal bullpen before. He has been joined now by Rich Rodriguez. a left-hander. So the Cardinals with a pair down there now, one right, one left.
By the way, that home run I talked about was the year before last year. Schaefer draws a walk. So the Cardinals have had 4 base runners this inning. Johnny Padres is going out to the mound to talk with Borland, because the top of the lineup's coming here. And Phillies just down to a 1-run lead. The Cardinals with that potential tying run halfway around the base paths. Nobody's up for the Phillies.
There will be shortly.
Yeah,
Mike Ryan's on the phone.
Yep. There's Irish. Gene Harris gets up. First and second for the Cardinals. Gilkey has grounded out all 3 times he's been up tonight. A little high and inside. Ball 1 on Gilkey. The home run by Brian Jordan has tightened it up. It's 6-5 Phillies. Just off the corner, 2-0.
Toby Borland right now is having a little bit of a problem with his location. We talked about him being, aggressive, and he has been that. But with the sinker-slider combination that he has, you have to keep the ball down in the strike zone. He's thrown way too many balls above the belt so far this evening. He needs to get it back down in that low area.
Oh, nice stop by Dalton. That would have put the 2 runners in scoring position there. Watch.
Talk about going to your backhand. Ball well off the plate, 3 feet outside, and Dutch just lunges at it with the glove and is able to come up with it. That is not as easy as it looks, folks. When you're sitting back here on your haunches, to be able to make a move like that with a couple bad knees, that's not easy.
There's a strike. It's 3-1 now on Gilkey. Ozzie Smith on deck. The Cardinals at this point have out-hit the Phillies 8-7, but they're short a run. Ball 4. The Cardinals have the bases loaded. Well, when you're trying to instill some confidence in a young pitcher, this isn't what you want to see here. It's going to be something if he gets out of it, but Jim Fregosi is going to stay with him against the Wizard, even though he's got Gene Harris up in the bullpen. John Vukovic shifting the defense a little bit. And here comes Jim Fregosi. Maybe he's not going to stay with him after all.
Well, not exactly the typical Toby Borland type inning. So far in the inning, 3 base hits and 2 walks. That's a whole lot of base runners in the inning. Toby Borland, of course, tonight his first ever appearance as a member of an opening day roster, possibly just a little bit jittery, but you can make all the excuses in the world. You still have to get the job done, and Borland did not this evening. So Gene Harris is going to come on for the Phillies, and we'll be back right after this.
The Montreal Expos come to town Tuesday, May 9th and Wednesday, May 10th at 7:35. And then again Thursday, May 11th at 1:05 for a Mellon PSFS Business Person Special. A May afternoon at the ballpark is always a special treat. So come on out. And remember, you save $5 on box seats and $3 on 600 level reserve seats. Call 463-1000.
Your advertising is your voice in the marketplace. Advertise in the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages, and your voice reaches more customers. A bigger ad gives you a bigger voice. A color ad gives your voice more impact. But if you don't have an ad, it's like having no voice at all. 9 out of 10 use it, and they're all ears. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
A little rocky for Toby Borland tonight. He'll have a chance to think this one over and root for his teammate Gene Harris to try to get out of this. The 30-year-old Harris, a right-hander, comes in to make his Phillies debut. Gene is 5'11", 195 pounds. With both San Diego and Detroit last year, he won one and lost one. In spring training, Harris was 1-0 with a 5.14 earned run average, appearing in 5 games for the Phillies. Teague, I can remember Jim Leland, among others, talking about sometimes your closer has to close a ball game in the 6th or 7th innings. I mean, because the crisis in a ball game is not always the 9th. The crisis can occur a lot earlier.
Yeah, and this is a crisis point right now for the Phillies. Not saying that Gene Harris is the closer on the ball club. I think that that role right now is still falling to Norm Charlton, possibly Heathcliff Slocum, but an important part in the ball game right now. The Cardinals with a couple of runs on the board and the bases loaded. Harris has to clean this mess up.
Misses with a breaking ball. What I am trying to say is that probably Jim Fregosi would prefer to use Harris later in the ball game, but he does have extra pitchers. There is Charlton, and you can almost book that Charlton will be in this ball game, and probably Slocum as well if it stays tight like this. The only reason they wouldn't be is if the Phillies or the Cardinals blow the other side away.
Yeah, this game opens up.
Meantime, Harris has fallen behind 2-0. In the air, should be caught, but it's not. And Stocker got tripped up a little bit. Hope he's all right, but I think he is. Well, that ball was just not quite high enough. Fortunately for the Phillies, it's a foul ball, so no damage done. Watch it.
Yeah, looped in an area down here where none of the three can get to it. Charlie Hayes going away, Stocker going across, and Jeffries coming in.
They all collided a little bit.
I think Hayes ran into everybody down there.
He did.
Got a piece of Stocker and was going after Jeffries. But fortunately, as you said, the ball fell in foul territory, because that's 2 runs for sure, possibly 3 with 2 outs and the runners moving.
2 balls and a strike now. Ozzie Smith 1 for 3 in the game. Little chopper off the plate. Harris drops it, picks it up, gets the out at first base. Ozzie is out, and down go the Cardinals. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 2 runs, 3 hits, bases left loaded. Phillies lead 6-5.
Savoy Pictures presents.
Of all the women I've had, you're still the only one I never took at gunpoint.
Paul Hogan.
Sleep it. You're gonna have to suck the poison out.
And Cuba Gooding Jr. in a story of 2 outlaws who just wanted to be wanted.
I just know I'm good. Real good.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium were formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving, to give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Between the 2 of us, we had 1 chair, a lamp, and a microwave. And lots of bills. Even on 2 salaries, it wasn't easy. What we needed was a loan, with payments we could afford. Our Mellon PSFS banker helped us work it out. It made things a lot more comfortable around here.
Life Improvement Loans. Call 1-800-MELON-2. 1-800-MELON-2.
Sport Biz Today with Victor Livingston every Sunday and Monday at 7 o'clock. Sports Channel's new sports business talk show premieres Sunday evening when Victor Livingston chats with Phillies Vice President of Marketing Dennis Mannion, Temple University sports economist Michael Leeds, and Phil Sheridan from the Bucks County Courier-Times. Sport Biz Today every week only on Sports Channel. Rich DeLucia, 6 feet tall, 185 pounds, 30 years of age, a Rule 5 draftee from Baltimore. He did appear in some games last year with the Cincinnati Reds.
This spring pitched very well for the Cardinals in 6 ball games, no wins, losses, 1 save, had a fine 150 earned run average.
Dave Hollins takes a strike. Dave with a long home run to the opposite corner tonight, a 2-run shot back in the 3rd inning. Hollins 1 for 3 with 2 runs batted in.
This game tightened up is imperative for the Phillies to keep the offensive pressure on. Now just a 1-run lead for the Phillies.
That's right, they were ahead 5 runs at one point. They've not given up the lead. Gene Harris comes in to get a big out. Hollins bid for a hit, goes up the middle, but played there by Oquendo, and Hollins' run retired. Darren Dalton's 4th at bat. He has singled and twice grounded out. Nice big dugouts here in St. Louis. High a ball.
Just thinking back to the pregame show when Jim Fregosi was talking with Larry Rosen, he said what was going to be important for the Phillies was to be able to keep the crooked numbers off the scoreboard. Well, this evening, Phillies not able to do that. The 3 spot by the Cardinals in the 3rd inning, and then 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So when the Phillies have given up runs this evening, they've given them up in bunches.
Dalton hits one to right field. He's got himself a base hit. Oh, Darren 2 out of 4 as he singles to right field. Hit number 8 in the game for the Phillies. Joe Torre is emerging from the Cardinal dugout. He has a left-hander up in his bullpen. And the Phillies have Jim Eisenreich coming up here, but he just brought DeLucia in to start the inning. See what Joe has in mind here.
Yeah, Rich Rodriguez down there in the bullpen throwing, and he's going to come into the ball game. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, it wasn't like he was brought in to get a couple right-handers out. Hollins a switch hitter, Dalton the left-hander, the first 2 hitters. DeLucia brought into the game, not able to get the job done, so Rich Rodriguez comes in. So with this pitching change here in St. Louis, we'll take a break, and we'll be back in just a second.
Between the 2 of us, we had 1 chair, a lamp, and a microwave. And lots of bills. Even on 2 salaries, it wasn't easy. What we needed was a loan. With payments we could afford. Our Mellon PSFS banker helped us work it out. It made things a lot more comfortable around here.
Life Improvement Loans. Call 1-800-MELON-2. 1-800-MELON-2.
North American Bowhunter, the show that is produced by archers for archers and that is dedicated to the promotion of the sport of archery. Join host Dan Hendricks each week as he and his special guests explore the world of archery and bow hunting. Follow them into the field as they enjoy the out of doors and the wildlife in and around the upper Midwest. Watch for North American Bowhunter.
A left-hander, Rich Rodriguez, coming on for the Cardinals. Phillies ahead here, top of the 7th inning, and as soon as they got a base runner, Joe Torre decided to make a change. So this 32-year-old left-hander is coming on. Started his career with the Mets and spent 5 years in their farm system. He was bothered by a sore shoulder this year in spring training. He allowed runs in only 16 of his 56 appearances for the Cardinals last year. And left-handed batters hit only 183 off him.
Yeah, Rodriguez in those 56 appearances last year led the Cardinal staff out of the bullpen. As you mentioned, has been fighting tendonitis this spring. Only pitched in 1 game for the Cardinals down in Florida, but Joe Torre figures that now is the time to use him. Phillies, of course, with a predominantly left-handed hitting lineup in there, and Torre with only 2 left-handers in his bullpen.
Eisenreich tonight is 0 for 3. Last time up he looked at a called third strike. So we got a 1-run ball game here, and both skippers are playing it like it's, you know, a big ball game, which it is. It's the first one they've played in quite a while that's counted, and both teams have a shot at winning it.
John Habian is now up in the Cardinal bullpen. He's going to back up Rodriguez, the right-hander. There you see Habian.
He was a very durable reliever for the Cardinals last year. The 2-0 pitch.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can't figure out why Torrey wouldn't, if he was going to bring Rodriguez in after one base hit with the left-handed hitters coming up, why he wouldn't have brought him in the first place.
Yeah, it's almost like he was going to let
unless he's trying to sneak through an inning, and save a left-handed arm for later in the game, knowing that the Phillies have so many left-handed bats in the lineup.
He was probably hoping that DeLucia could go out there and work a 1-2-3 inning, but trailing by a run now, he just doesn't want to risk the Phillies getting any more. Hard ground ball, that could be 2. There's 1, and the Wizard knows what to do with it. So the Cardinals get out of the inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. It's stretch time, and 6-5 Phillies.
Cooperstown, New York. It's small-town America, and it's the American game. Baseball's heroes and treasures all gathered together in a magical building on Main Street. This is Joe Garagiola inviting you to visit the Baseball Hall of Fame in the perfect village of Cooperstown, New York. I tell you, it's a special place. A place of dreams and memories. Don't you miss it.
Next.
I'd like to return this birthday present. It's too loud.
I'd like to return this birthday present for $500.
Next.
I'm returning this anniversary gift because it swears.
What?
I'm returning this anniversary gift because I won.
Next time, give them Pennsylvania lottery tickets, because some gifts are worth returning.
Next.
We're returning this wedding present.
It's a Da Vinci. His velvet period.
Another popular Mellon PSFS Business Person special coming up Thursday, May 11th at 1:05 when the Phillies play the Expos. Save on any ticket you buy. All ticket prices are reduced. Call 463-1000.
What vitamin could potentially reduce your risk for suffering a heart attack? Recent studies have shown that vitamin E can reduce the number of heart attacks by 50% for both men and women. Check with your doctor before starting any vitamin program.
Phillies season tickets are still available for purchase. You can pick one from one of many different types of plans, including the full season plan, the 16-game plan, and the Sunday plan. And as a season ticket customer, you receive many additional benefits, in addition to picking from some good seating for your ticket plan. Call the Phillies sales office for all the information about season tickets. 463-5000, the number to call. Bottom half of the 7th, the Cardinals start with Ray Langford, Gene Harris on for the Phillies in a 1-run ball game. Langford shows bunt. Langford, of course, has been a leadoff man in his time. We talked about him hitting a leadoff home run to start the season last year for St. Louis. Hit that at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. That's because here's a liner to left field. He's got a base hit. I was going to say that's because that man there, Jeffries, was their number 3 hitter last year. That's why Langford was a leadoff guy. Well, the Cardinals waste no time getting the potential tying run aboard, and Scott Cooper in his first game in St. Louis is impressing the local fans. He's 2 out of 3 with 2 runs batted in, 1 run scored. Now the Phillies infield wants to do what the Cardinal infield just did, pull a double play. Gene Harris at one time had interest in becoming a defensive back. In fact, he left the Seattle Ball Club. He was with the Mariners. He left them for a while to think about it. He had attended Tulane University, and he was a defensive back there on their football team.
And after that single by Langford, how big was the play on Ozzie Smith?
Yeah.
Now, you don't always know that that base hit was going to follow, but if it did, Phillies would be in a much worse shape than they are right now, leading by a run.
Well, here's Cooper going out of the strike zone to chase one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You mentioned the Phillies looking for a double play. First 2 pitches by Harris, both up in the strike zone. Not the normal type of pitches that you would throw trying to get somebody to hit the ball on the ground. Try to either get a breaking ball down or some kind of a sinking fastball down in the strike zone. You have a better percentage of ground balls there.
That's a strike call.
That one right there will work.
That's okay. 1 and 2.
Yep, down and away. Let the left-handed hitter try to pull that one. He'll hit a nice little ground ball to short or second. Unfortunately for the Phillies, Cooper didn't offer at it. You know, when you're out there on the mound, you've only got so many of those real good pitches in your arm. You like to have them hit the ones when you make those real good ones.
Missed with that, and it's a level count now. 2 and 2 on Scott Cooper.
And not only did he miss the strike zone with it, but he missed where Darren Dalton wanted it. Dutch sitting on the outside part of the plate. That pitch misses on the inside. So the right pitch, wrong location.
Quick throw to first, but Langford is back. Langford stole 11 bases for the Cardinals last year. He's certainly capable of stealing many more than that.
It's funny, the running Redbirds of years past still have a lot of speed on the ball club, but the guys with the speed really don't have the ability to steal a lot of bases.
He was on the move that time. Dykstra is there. They got a shot of the double play. Hollins, look at Hollins. He's amazingly aggressive, isn't he?
Throw your body on the ground, David. Ball hit right on the button by Cooper, but right at Lenny Dykstra in center field. Langford off and running. When he takes a shot at him at first base, good strong throw. So he just pulls Dave Hollins off the bag. That's like an infield throw, just a little bit out of range.
Now the question is, will Dave Hollins at any point this year finish a game with a clean uniform?
Absolutely not.
Not a chance.
No.
Well, now here we got one defensive back facing another defensive back. And Brian Jordan has driven in 3 of the Cardinal runs tonight, 2 and a home run. Called strike. Phillies are ahead 6-5 in the bottom of the 7th.
Don't know what Jordan was looking for, but obviously it wasn't a first pitch fastball right down the middle, because that's what Harris gave him. Just poured it right in there.
Jordan knocked in a run in the 3rd inning on a single. When the Cardinals picked themselves up off the mat, they were trailing 5-0 at that point. Jordan drove in the 3rd run. And then he drove in their two most recent runs in the 6th inning on that home run to left. A 2-run blow. Safe at first. Langford was going on that one drive by Cooper, so we'll see if he has thoughts of running again. There he goes. Foul away. When Langford goes, he does get a good jump.
He has twice now. It appears as if he has got a pretty good read on Gene Harris. I don't know if Harris is tipping, whether he moves, whether he's going to home plate or going to first base, but twice now Langford has had good jumps at first base. So Harris is either going to have to vary his timing of his delivery to home plate or do something a little different, because it appears that Langford has him read. First, talk about learning how to steal bases, and I said the Cardinals have not had the guys with speed be able to run the bases. Ball fouled off again. They have a guy on the staff now that knows just a little bit about stealing bases, Mr. Lou Brock. He's joined the Cardinal coaching staff this year, and Lou will get those guys in tune to how to read pitchers. He was one of the best at studying pitchers when he's sitting right there on the bench and looking for little idiosyncrasies, just something small that a pitcher would do that would tip off when he was going home.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Brian Jordan fans, that's a big strikeout for Harris. And now the batter will be John Mabry. The Cardinals with 3 Hall of Famers on their coaching staff. They've got Bob Gibson, we showed you him earlier, and of course, in addition to Lou Brock, the other is the famed Red Schoendienst. There's the old redhead. He's been a Cardinals skipper a couple of different times. What a great baseball man he is. There goes the runner from first. Dalton's throw late, and the ball gets by. But Langford doesn't get up, so there's no harm done. A stolen base for Langford.
Kevin Stocker does a nice job again, and a great jump by Langford. But watch Stocker right here after the ball hits off of his glove. Goes ahead, makes the tag, keeps the glove on him as if he has the ball. Langford's actually laying on the ground calling for time while the ball's rolling in center field. Kevin Stocker has convinced him that he still has the baseball. The ball's gone, it's in center field. Stock keeps the glove on him, not obstructing him from going to third base, but makes him think that he's got the ball, keeps him there at second base.
Hit down the left field side, but out of play. Total tickets sold tonight, 33,538.
On plays like that play at second base, a lot of times a player will panic and get up and chase after the ball, even though it's going into center field and you can't catch it. Stocker shows good composure, even though he doesn't have the ball, to get something done to help his club.
Stocker knocks it down, makes the play. So the Cardinals have been retired in the 7th with no harm done. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we're going to the 8th. It's 6-5 Phillies.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice. Maybe you should keep the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
North American Bowhunter, the show that is produced by archers for archers and that is dedicated to the promotion of the sport of archery. Join host Dan Hendricks each week as he and his special guests explore the world of archery and bow hunting. Follow them into the field as they enjoy the out of doors and the wildlife in and around the upper Midwest. Watch for North American Bowhunter.
Phillies baseball is brought to you in part by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. It's always been true, this Bud's for you. And by Nationwide Insurance Enterprise. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Philadelphia is Tim Riley. Andy Musser with Kent DeColvey at Busch Stadium in St. Louis on a nice night. We had a little rain here, but it's cleared off nicely now, and the Phillies are Ahead of the Cardinals 6-5 as we get to the short straws. 8th inning. Phillies would like to add to their lead here. They've got the bullpen up. Both teams do, indicating that the Phils are planning to bat for Gene Harris. He'd bat third this inning. Charlie Hayes leads it off, sends a fly ball to left, but this will be caught by Gilkey. 1 down. Stocker will bat next, and then we'll see who they're going to send out for Harris. Looks like it's going to be Randy Reddy.
Heathcliff Slocum down warming up in the Phillies bullpen. So if Reddy indeed does bat for Harris, Slocum will be on next inning to pitch.
And with the left-hander Rich Rodriguez working for the Cardinals, they have a right-hander in their bullpen. It's John Habian. Stocker tonight, nothing out of 3 ground balls. John Habian. Stocker tries to bunt his way on. They let it roll, and it goes foul. It just missed the bag. He'd have gotten extra bases out of that had it been just an inch to the right.
Yeah, Cooper elects to let the ball go. You know, pretty firmly bunted down the third baseline. Cooper elects to let it go at the last minute. It does go foul. Had that ball jumped over the top of the bag, though, Ozzie Smith had not moved over. He was still standing in his shortstop position. If that ball jumps over the bag and is in fair territory, Stocker definitely can get to, because you see right there, Cooper's in hot pursuit.
That ball wasn't fouled by very much either.
No, that just barely missed the bag.
That's kind of a darned if you do and darned if you don't for a third baseman, because Cooper knew that he wasn't going to get him if he grabbed it. So what good does it do there? You take your chance on it going foul, even though maybe an extra base is involved. I don't know. What's the proper answer?
Well, as much as I hate to say it, the mistake was made on the play by Ozzie Smith. He's supposed to be over there.
Yeah.
And that ball's bunted in that direction, and the veteran knows that he's supposed to be over there just in case that indeed does happen. He did not move. He stayed at his position.
Well, no, he's not beyond criticism, Teak.
I know, but I hate to criticize him. He's so good.
Yeah, I know. You just feel like you're...
It's almost like
saying something about an icon, right?
Yeah, it's just not supposed to happen. But in that case, it did.
1-2 the count. Ripped. Foul to the Phillies bullpen. Rich Rodriguez came on to get a double play ground ball to end the 7th inning. Now he would like to work through the 8th here. Wonder if they'd bring their closer Hanke in to pitch the 9th if it's still a 1-run ball game, or whether Torre has decided to bring him only in a lead or a tie. We'll see.
Time will tell.
You got another ball game right around the corner tomorrow. A 12:30 start here in St. Louis, so that's going to come around quickly.
Of course, the Cardinals have the luxury of their closer, save leader from last year, Rene Arocha, still in the bullpen too. So I mean, you could actually bring your number 2 closer in a game where you're down a run and still be in pretty good shape, as opposed to bringing your number 1 guy in.
Here's a pop-up, shallow right field. Habian's call, or excuse me, Mabry's called off the ball by Oquendo. 2 outs. And Randy Reddy will bat for the Phillies. Randy re-signed again this offseason as a free agent. Randy had a nice stretch with the Phils last summer. He only played in 17 games, but he hit .381.
He had a nice stretch this spring, also hitting .385. A couple home runs, 4 runs batted in.
One of his homers was a slam.
That accounts for the 4 runs batted in.
There you go. And Spikey is sporting that number 23 again. He wore number 31 last year, but on a previous stint with the Phillies, he was 23. Liner, center, hanging in the air. Langford makes the play. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Phillies out in turn for the first time tonight, but they lead 6-5.
What do you want to do? Kill them all?
I'll be your family, Wyatt. I'll give you children. We'll make our own place where no one will find us. And I won't die on you.
I'm dead anyway. So if you want to go out in a blaze of glory, I'm with you.
The closer you keep your family, the better. Nothing counts so much as blood. The rest are just strangers.
Baseball's back. Jeffries is here. The Phillies open their 25th season at the Vet against the Pirates Friday, April 28th at 7:35. Kite Man delivers the first ball. The Phils battle the Bucks again Saturday the 29th at 7:05. And Sunday, April 30th at 1:35, when all fans 14 and under get a handsome equipment bag free. And remember, for every home game through May 21st, you save $5 on box seats and $3 on 600 level reserve seats. Call 463-1000.
Well, folks, it's your chance to play big league baseball with Phillies legends in Clearwater, Florida at Phillies Dream Week. One full week to play ball all day and socialize all night with the stars. Stars like Callison, Lazinski, Holland, Boa, Cash, and even Robin Roberts and our newest Hall of Famer, Richie Ashburn, along with Phillies manager Jim Fergosi will be there, so don't miss out. Call now, 215-938-1200, and ask about the special no money down affordable monthly payment program. Last year was the 12th consecutive sellout, so call right now and get your free brochure, whether it's for you or the perfect gift surprise. Call now. Space is very limited. 215-938-1200 for Phillies Dream Week.
Bottom of the 8th. Phillies clinging to that one-run lead. Heathcliff Slocum on to try to protect it now. Cliff last year 5-1 with the Phillies and a 2.86 earned run average. This spring he didn't fare quite so effectively. He was 0-1 with a 6.75, appearing in 5 spring games. Pagnozzi leading it off for the Cardinals. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Couldn't ask for anything more than that last year from Slocum.
I really think last year when the Phillies got Slocum, Rene Arocha, we mentioned the number 2 stopper for the Cardinals up in the bullpen, but when the Phillies got Slocum last year, I don't know if they expected to get as much as they got out of him. I mean, you know, it was kind of an up and down type career until last year, but it seemed like Heathcliff really got his act together last year and flourished with the Phillies. You know, in that setup role, he seemed to be very comfortable. Always had Doug Jones behind him. Knew that, you know, he was just to go out there and get the job done and get the game to Jones. Did it very effectively.
Well, here he recovers from a 3-0 count to run the count full. Pagnozzi trying to get aboard here to start something in the 8th. So we're setting it up for the fact that Norm Charlton will pitch the 9th if the Phillies are still ahead by a run or whatever at that point. Got him. Slocum strikes out Pagnozzi after he trailed in the count 3-0.
This is what you have to do, is come back when you go behind 3-0. You don't want to get there. 3-2 breaking ball. Good pitch by Slocum. Down and away. Pagnozzi swings and misses.
Jose Oquendo the batter, and in the on-deck circle is Gerald Perry to pinch hit for Rodriguez.
There you see Perry. You mentioned before Joe Torre not wanting to play him at first base in Todd Zeal's absence. Wanted to keep him on the bench for situations like this. Look back to the top of the 8th inning. The Phillies with the bottom 3 in their order to the plate. Rodriguez able to retire the Phillies in order. The Cardinals in the same situation here in the bottom of the 8th.
Oquendo sends a ground ball Morandini's way, and Mickey plays it into the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 down. Rodriguez leaves the game as Gerald Perry takes over. Perry, 34 years of age, a nephew of Dan Dreesen. Remember, Dan used to be with the Reds. He needs only 2 more pinch hits to surpass Steve Braun's career club record of 60 pinch hits. They say he has set an unofficial team mark for the Cardinals by signing here as a free agent for the 3rd time.
Can't get rid of him.
Nope, he will not go.
You can make me a free agent, but you can't make me sign somewhere else. Breaking ball by Slocum over the outside part of the plate. Count even at 1-1 now. Whoa, up and in.
In the '93 season, Perry had 24 pinch hits. That tied a St. Louis club record set way back in 1970 by Vic Davalillo. He also had 15 pinch walks that year. 2-1 to Perry. Popped him up. Hollins coming down the line. He's got it, and the inning is over. The Cardinals are retired, and we're going to the 9th with the Phillies ahead 6-5.
Some people hate to stop for gasoline. We do it for a living. Just going from one Sunoco station to another. Checking to make sure a gallon is truly a gallon. That the octane you pay for is the octane you get. That the gasoline is as good coming out of the pump as it was coming out of the refinery. So next time you're moaning because you have to pull over for gasoline, think of us. We have to stop 1,183 times this year.
Dear car owners, when your suspension's going, you can feel it in your bones. Your car shakes, rattles, and rolls. The suspension experts at Midas can help with Shake, Rattle, and Roll Control. You get 25% off your car's alignment or 50% off your second shocker strut or both. It's a deal that'll make things go a whole lot smoother for you. So hurry in today for 25% off alignment or 50% off your second shocker strut or both. That's the Midas way, the way it should be.
Whether you're negotiating a deal,
Okay? If you're good, I'll read you a story.
Come on, make it 2.
calling in an order,
Skip the strawberry. We want chocolate.
scheduling a meeting,
I'm at the Big Artichokes.
or just checking in with the boss,
Honey, is it okay if I stay another half hour?
the most important thing is that the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile, the heart of communication. Call 1-800-255-BELL.
A 29-year-old right-hander, Rene Arocha, is going to come on for the Cardinals to try to keep it tight. Their mission is to make sure this stays a 1-run ball game going into the bottom half of the inning. Arocha was effective last season from the bullpen. They also used him as a starter in some ball games. In spring training, he showed no ill effects from elbow surgery last September.
Now, Rocha was in the starting rotation for the Cardinals early in the year. They moved him to the bullpen. Didn't really think he was going to be that effective. He's kind of a combination of pitchers, pitches type pitcher, a fastball, curveball, slider, change, but was very effective for him and ended up with 11 saves for the Cardinals in '94.
Always from the stretch, and Dykstra leads it off for the Phillies, who have a 1-run lead. Lenny's been on twice tonight with a walk and single. Officially, he's 1 for 3. You know, Arocha is an interesting story. He defected from the Cuban national team while it was playing in the United States back in 1991. Inside a ball. Then the Cardinals won his rights in a lottery.
They put all the names in the hat. And
that's it.
Pulled out the Cardinals.
Dykstra sends it to center. Langford after it. Lenny flies out, 1 down. Norm Charlton up for the Phillies. It'll be his task to close it down in the bottom half of the 9th inning. His first major league game in 2 years. Morandini, Mickey tonight 1 for 4, a 2-run double. Don't forget to join us on Sports Channel again tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock for the pregame, 1:30 game time as the Phillies and the Cardinals complete this brief 2-game series. And the pitchers tomorrow, David West for the Phillies, Danny Jackson for the Cardinals, as we go with a battle of left-handers. This was the ballpark where David West became a starter.
Became a starter. That one start that he was going to make.
It was out of desperation. He'd been lousy in the bullpen. Jimmy was going to try him and wanted to do it on the road where fans wouldn't be on him, and had a great night. Gilkey makes that catch for the second out of the inning. So Jimmy kept him in the rotation because he needed a starter. And his whole career might have changed right there, starting in this ballpark. I'm wondering where did Jeffries become the enemy all of a sudden?
Somewhere around the third inning when the Phillies scored the 5 runs.
Because they were cheering him before the game. First couple of times up.
All those fans are so fickle.
Base is empty with 2 outs. Ball 1 on him. He has walked, reached on an error, stolen a base, scored a run. Norm Charlton
walking into the Phillies dugout.
He's ready.
He's completed his warm-up tosses.
He and Dibble were the Nasty Boys. Was there originally anybody else in that Nasty Boys group?
Randy Myers.
Oh, yeah.
Was the third.
That's right.
The 3 of the 3 Nasties.
There you go.
Harder, and hardest they threw.
Rob Dibble did not make the White Sox. He's going to start the year in the minor leagues.
Well, figured since Michael Jordan couldn't play in Birmingham this year because he has a commitment with the Bulls now, that they would send Rob Dibble there.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dibble's going to have quite the impact on minor league baseball that Michael Jordan did.
Think he'll buy him a bus the way Mike did?
Probably not, but he'll probably ride on the one that Mike bought.
That's right. They still have that. You're right. So Michael Jordan pays a long-term dividend to the guys who are playing there in Birmingham.
Boy, it would be nice for Jeffries to run into one right here. An extra insurance run.
Puts it in play. His old buddy Ozzie is there. Safe. It's a base hit. Infield single for Jeffries.
Not hit very hard at all. Ozzie comes in, charges it, gets rid of it quickly. Not a bad play at all. He gets the ball over, gets it in his throwing hand, gets rid of it. We talked about how quickly he can get rid of it, but Jeffries, normally on a ball where you have to lunge and you don't hit it that well, you don't get out of the box, but Jeffries somehow got out of there in a hurry and got down the line. So he just ranked that up as a hustle base hit for Greg Jeffries. Keeps the inning alive.
Well, Jeffries was on base when Hollins unloaded the home run back in the 3rd inning. Let's see what Dave has in himself here. Takes ball 1. Hollins in the game tonight, 1 for 4, 2-run homer. And that's part of the Phillies' 6-5 lead here in the 9th inning. There he goes. Pagnozzi's throw. He is out. Pagnozzi got 51% last year. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Go to the bottom of the 9th, 6-5 Phillies.
You called me, son. Nothing.
I believe he called you a gutless coward.
No, I did not say that. I was teasing. Teasing?
I don't like being teased.
See, there you go, being unlikable again.
A woman's suffering's not a funny thing.
There are exceptions.
Everybody's got a gun. Stop playing around and stop those horses. Whoa, Ollie, whoa.
However did you escape from those hostiles? Oh. My, such splendid similarities. But from the looks of things, I'll have the lady come in with some more hot water.
Norm Charlton just loves this situation. He was born to be a closer. He said, why would you want to be in any other spot in the ball game? He said, back when I was younger and my arm was stronger, he said, I was happy to be a starter. I thought that was great. But if you're going to be a reliever, This is the role that you want to have, and Teak, you had it for a long time. You would identify with that.
And I think, Norm, you got to remember, this is the first time in a saved situation from Norm Charlton since he's become a Philly because of the arm problem. So he's waited a long time to be in this position, and the Phillies have waited a long time for him to get here.
His first game ever in a Phillies uniform officially. Of course, he pitched in spring training, but this is different. This is a whole lot different. And the Phillies lead by 1 for the 32-year-old left-hander. And the Cardinals present the top of their lineup. Bernard Gilkey 0 for 3 with a walk. Charlton just has to make sure he's not too pumped up that he, lets the situation get away from him here, because he's got the stuff to get him out. He showed that in spring training. Gilkey chases one. He was trying to tie this ball game on one swing of the bat.
But what Charlton has on his side is he's been in this position before. Yes, it's been a while, but he's been here before. He knows how to go about this. It's just a matter of going out and executing.
2 balls and a strike on Gilkey. He'll be followed by Ozzie Smith and then Ray Langford. Charlton, 6'3", 205 pounds. Ball 3, 3-1.
But what you don't want to do in this situation with a 1-run lead in the 9th inning is put the first man on base.
There he is. Base hit for Gilkey. So the Cardinals have served notice. They're not going to go quietly. Gilkey stole 15 bases last year. Here comes the Wizard. He'll try to move him.
Charlton does get this one down in the strike zone, not all the way down, belt high. Gilkey hammers into left field, but even from a mental standpoint, a base hit is better than a walk to lead off the inning.
I agree with you. Ozzie, I think, is up there to bunt. It sure looked like it on that pitch, and I don't think he was bluffing.
No, in this situation, Ozzie's job is going to be to get Gilkey into scoring position.
Third base coach Galen Pitts. Bucky Dent was the third base coach last year. He's with Texas now. We mentioned that they made some changes in Torrey's coaching staff. The Wizard around to bunt again. He's shortened anyway and takes outside, and Charlton falls behind 2-0, and Dalton wants to chat with Norman. Charlton's been waiting so long for this situation that you can't blame him for being pumped up. But you got to work within yourself here.
You've got to stay under control, and if Ozzie Smith is up there and wants to bunt and wants to give himself up, fine. A guy like Ozzie, he's been around a long time. He knows how to bunt. He's done it well for years. Get the ball in there, make him put it on the ground. If he happens to bunt one hard to Charlie Hayes at third base where he can get the force at second, fine, but give him the opportunity to bunt. You're not going to fool the Wizard.
High ball 3-0. We had a look at Fergosi a moment ago, and it just flashed through my mind. Jimmy has watched the Wild thing go out there and do his thing. Last year he watched the low-key Doug Jones go out there and do his thing, and right now he says Norm Charlton has earned the chance to do this. Ball 4. The bunt was not necessary. 2 on, nobody out. Johnny Padres out to the mound. Teak, the question comes up now for the Cardinals. Do you bunt with your number 3 hitter, Langford?
Langford, the left-handed hitter at the plate. Charlton, the left-hander on the mound. I think you, first of all, before you do anything, you give Charlton an opportunity, as he has shown, to get behind in the count. So I won't look for anything. He may turn around like he's going to bunt early in the count, but I look for him to at least make Charlton throw a strike before he goes around and tries to get the job done.
As the players say, let him be wild. If he wants to be wild, let him. Well, both managers squirming. You know, this is not an easy spot. It's a 1-run ball game. A lot of things can happen here. Joe Torre has seen his team trailing by one dimension or another all night long. This is still Schilling's game to win. Phillies never gave up the lead. All right, let's see what the Cards are up to, and let's see how Charlton's control is.
Phillies defensively have Hayes up at third. Hollins playing in front of the runner at first base. They're anticipating the bunt. Kevin Stocker holding Gilkey close at second. So they're set up in a bunt defense.
Which, of course, is an advantage to the hitter, and he didn't look like a bunter there. Ball 1 to him. With the fielders up at the corners, you can slap a ball by him a lot easier if you're not bunting, but you don't dare not protect against it.
Well, especially with Hayes up at third and Stocker over towards second. The hole between second and third is pretty well wide open.
Almost hit by the pitch. 2-0. So it's not going easily for Norman. Jim Fregosi keeps giving up cigarettes in the offseason and finding reasons to go back to them when the season starts. Teak solves that problem by just not giving them up at all.
We have action down in the Phillies bullpen.
You're going to ignore me, huh? I'm getting on you. And
that's it. We've got more important things in order right now.
Who's up down there?
That's what I'm looking for right now.
Ball 3.
Ricky Bottalico up for the Phillies. And he's up and getting loose in a hurry.
Yeah, Charlton just was kind of overthrowing right from the minute he went out there. And it's gone downhill from there.
Well, he's only thrown 1 strike in the entire inning.
Now the Cardinals have them loaded here. Now the game, even though the Phillies lead it by a run, they are in danger of not only being tied but losing the ball game if they're not careful here.
Very much in jeopardy at this point. Norm Charlton has come on to face Gilkey, Smith, and Langford. Fell behind Gilkey, gave up the base hit.
You know, Jim
now has walked Smith and Langford on 4 pitches each.
Fergosi's saying, you know, I don't want to shatter the guy's confidence the first time I throw him out there. I'm almost better, you know, just letting him do what he's going to do.
Well, it's a double-edged sword, too. The guy you got warming up in the bullpen, Bottalico, has not pitched in this situation a whole lot in the major league.
Look out. Oh, brother.
And Charlton really isn't even close to the strike zone.
Seeing something like that, Jimmy might change his mind, really, because Norm's gone from bad to worse. Scott Cooper, of course, is the hitter. He has 1 big blow on the ball game, a 2-run single.
Well, inside again.
You know Jimmy's really churning, and you can't blame him. I don't know what's, you know, we haven't seen enough of Charlton to really know, but I've never seen him get wild like this.
No, normally he is not wild. I played with Norm when he just came to the big leagues in 1989 in Cincinnati. He has pretty good control normally.
Foul ball, and it was right off the foot of Cooper.
That's interesting. Charlton has thrown 10 straight balls, 2 balls and no strikes, and Cooper swinging.
Notice Cooper wears that guard on his foot. He must have a habit of fouling balls off his foot. Look at it.
Yeah, the guys that wear that are the guys that hit that low inside fastball, pull it off their leg.
Chris Chambliss. 2-1. Ground ball. Base hit. 1-run scores. Here comes the winning run to the plate. Safe, and the Cardinals win the ball game 7-6. Scott Cooper, in his debut in his hometown as a professional, has driven in 4 runs to lead the Cardinals to a come-from-behind win over the Phillies on opening night. Heartbreak for the Phillies, who led this ball game until the final batter, at one time by as many as 5 runs. But Scott Cooper, a local product from Pattonville High School in St. Charles, makes his debut at Busch Stadium, an impressive one.
2 balls and 1 strike. Charlton comes in with the fastball. That's all he's been throwing all year long. Got it out over the plate. Hollins dives for the ball, trying to knock it down and keep it in the infield. Not able to get it. Eisenreich up and throwing. Good strong throw by Ozzie. So Dutch tried to stick his foot out there, but Ozzie gets across the plate. A good slide right around the attempted tag by Dalton, and the Cardinals pull it out in the bottom of the ninth with 2 runs. And Norm Charlton, in his first attempt to become the closer for the Philadelphia Phillies, is not successful, none whatsoever.
You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel.
From the writer of The Secret Garden and Edward Scissorhands comes an unforgettable motion picture of a timeless classic.
Beautiful horse.
Race the Wind. Know the Courage. And feel the magic of Black Beauty.
Hi, I'm Gary Cobb, and I've got 2 good reasons for you to check out my show on Sports Channel. One reason is my guests. Tune in to G-Cobb Live every Thursday at 6:30 on Sports Channel. As for the other reason, let's just say it's personal.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium were formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving, to give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Phillies baseball was sponsored in part by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. And by the Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 people use the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. And by Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies, featuring full-service evening and 7-day banking. And by Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. For 57 years, the health insurance company you can lean on. Cardinals rally for a heartbreaking defeat for the Phillies. Cards get 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, and they leave 9 on base. Phil's 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They strand 6. Winning pitcher Rene Arocha, losing pitcher Norm Charlton, who was not able to get an out in the ball game. Dave Hollins and Tony Longmire hit Phillies home runs. Brian Jordan hit one for the Cardinals, but certainly the hero of this ball game, and it's almost like a Hollywood type story, and so we choose him as our star of the game here. Look at the hugs all the way around for Scott Cooper. He wins the Texaco Star of the Game award. Cooper had 3 hits in the ball game, drove in 4 runs, and drove in the 2 that won it.
And Scott Cooper coming over from the Red Sox during the winter, coming back home to play for the St. Louis Cardinals. And if you talk about coming home and having a nice debut, Scott Cooper had a great one tonight for the Cardinals.
Final score once again, Cardinals beat the Phillies 7-6. Coming up next here on Sports Channel is going to be Snow Zone. Andy Musser for Kent DeColvey. And we hope that you'll stay tuned for Snow Zone, which you'll see next right here on Sports Channel.
Phillies baseball returns to Sports Channel tomorrow afternoon from Bush Memorial Stadium in St. Louis. Game time, 1:30. Join us for our pregame report beginning at 1 o'clock. Danny Jackson and Ken Hill tomorrow afternoon. Phillies baseball exclusively on Sports Channel. Good night, everybody.